Let the water touch my feet. Can't let these people get to me. I know you know I never.
Morocco, 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosted to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco, 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
From a disappointing World Cup qualifying campaign, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be aiming to make it up to football fans in Nigeria by trying to win a fourth African title. But the big question, the million-dollar question is, can they do that on North African soil? There's only one way to find out, and that's when it kicks off on the 21st of December right there in Morocco. It's our tournament preview for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We focus on a team that has won this title 3 times in 1980, 1994, and 2013. My name is Wale. Adigun. I've got Chuma and Timi on this Super Eagles focus. Chuma, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Wale. Nice to be here, man.
Timi, up Nigeria. Up Nigeria.
Amen.
All right, Chuma, let's begin this preview with you. Super Eagles of Nigeria in Group C. They've got Tanzania, Uganda, and also the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. What are your general expectations from Nigeria as far as this group is concerned?
I think when you use the word north, south, east, or west, the Super Eagles have wrapped up 3 out of those 4. When they won the Nations Cup in 1994, it was North Africa.
Yeah.
They hosted in 1980, West Africa, and then South Africa in 2013. So heading into North Africa again, no shaking. No shaking.
No shaking at
If
all.
we want to go with history, no shaking at all. But realistically, as that where we stand, really, we're at the point where we have so much to prove. The Nigerian national team will have so much to prove to their countrymen and to the rest of the continent, having missed out on qualifying for the World.
The year Ademola Lookman and the year Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen, but yet you don't get a feeling that there's a unit that can launch an assault in Morocco. What do you think?
Yeah, it's looking like it, and like it or not, new players will be drafted into this squad going to this Nations Cup. We have the likes of Akko Adams, who has not played any tournament for Nigeria before. We have Chidera Ejuke, his last tournament was in 2019. We also have new players in the defense, like we mentioned. Trustekong is retired. We have goalkeeper now, Stanley Wabale, who is neither here nor there. But you look at that back line, you critically look at it and say, hey, some new faces will be in there. You look at the midfield, maybe yes, the regulars, Wilfred Ndidi, Onyedika, and he will be, the likes of them will be there. You look at the attack, maybe familiar names, Moses Simon, Victor Osimhen. These are the names that we believe will do the magic. But then when it comes to a team, a collective front field, I think the last Nations Cup where we got to the finals, it had to be a change of tactics from Jose Pesero before we could start seeing a very good and solid team in that Nations Cup. So for this Nations Cup, you look at it critically and say, hey, maybe we should not just raise our hopes, because these players, like it or not going to the World Cup is a downer for them. And I just hope they can pick themselves up. And let's not forget that even before they played that playoff match against Gabon, they had this squabble about their bonuses and the rest of it. So all these things coming into play really is not giving me assurances of how far the Super Eagles can go. Whether they can now play for the pride of the nation, the pride of the flag, or maybe motivation again from the presidency in terms of monetary values. I don't know, Lawale, but I just hope we can do something with ourselves in this Nations Cup and just forget about the World Cup.
I'd like to know what the president is saying in terms of promises, because I don't know if the promises for coming second in Ivory Coast has been fulfilled yet. In terms of the houses or whatever they were promised. But let's not talk about the absences, because Chuma, those absences are more defensive in nature. He talked about the leader of the industrial action, William Trustekong. He has retired from the national team. Benjamin Fredericks, who's our breakthrough player of the year, is out with injury or line-up. How big of a miss are these names for Nigeria going to AFCON 2025?
Big miss, really, because, again, going back to AFCON 2023 that took place in 2024, William Trustekong, best player in the tournament, for a defender to have gotten that award, not also around for Nigeria. Benjamin Frederick, Nigeria's was improved player, the best Nigerian player, I dare say, in defense in 2025, not around as well, too. Ola, one of the best right-backs in the Premier League in the last set of years, Nottingham Forest man, also not in the conversation. These are all worrisome signs. The amount of players and the quality of the players who are not around. But I'm thinking to myself, This man, he should go to the final and not just stop in the semis. Semi Ajayi. He'll win the mix.
There you go.
I would think himself and Calvin Bassey in the middle of the pack. I know there are people who said, what else does he offer the team beyond defending semi when he couldn't really stand up amongst the star players to score penalties for us against DR Congo. But I think himself and Calvin Bassey will hold on in that middle of the pack in defense. And then, of course, Zaidu Sanusi from the left side. Now, Bright Osayi Samuel is the option I'm thinking of from that right full-back position in the absence of Olaino and Benjamin Frederick. And then we hopefully hope that these guys can be impeaching. They say Kajad enough. For our goalkeeper, maybe it's an upgrade. Maybe that we're now having a European-based goalkeeper coming between the sticks for us in this Nations Cup. Shout out to Maduka Okoye. And then attack. We're blessed.
I have an unpopular opinion on Maduka. I don't know if you guys agree. I think he's a better goalkeeper than Wabali. And you know why? Because by the virtue of him playing in the top 5 league in Europe, I think it's better.
I think you have a point there. You have a valid point there. But then again, you look at Maduka Okoye and sometimes his lack of concentration in terms of when you need him to make those saves. Sorry, I'm talking about Stanley Wabali.
Okay, all right.
Not Maduka Okoye, Stanley Wabali. I think the only issue with the goalkeeping aspect is lack of concentration in key moments for Stanley Wabali. And sometimes it can be very playful, which is for me not really necessary. Some things that he does, you look at it and say, this can only happen in the MPFL. You only do these things in the MPFL, not at the international stage. So apart from that, I think I want to still rate Stanley Wabali as one of our very good goalkeepers. But then Maduka Okoye, for me, really stands above Stanley Wabali.
Stanley Maduka needs to go to
I wouldn't say really, because Stanley has proven himself at Nigerian level.
He has.
Sometimes he can be better at club level, but at national team level, this person.
I think your quality should be able to shine through at any level.
I think the only worrying thing for
Maduka can be a number one at Udinese, this is a big club in the Serie. I mean, at best a modest club in the Serie, top 5 league in Europe. It means something. When he was out during that ban, he came back and took his place immediately. That's how highly. The Costas Roniak rates him.
I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I think the only problem Nigerians have with him is the fact that they haven't forgiven him for that goal he considered against Tunisia.
And guess what? Tunisia in our group again.
Exactly. So maybe he has a chance to redeem himself.
Now, let's talk about the administrators themselves. They have never covered themselves in glory. Preparation, the 54-man squad or provisional squad. But we understand, have given the manager, Eric Chell, a target of getting to at least the semi-finals of the AFCON. And Chuma, I don't know what you make of this, because how does a team who gets to the final of the last tournament be given a target are you reducing the bar? Is that how low the standard has come for Nigerian football?
They're not cut down jam cut-off points now, But I think for me, this just feels like it's standard practice. Every time we have a Nations Cup, Raw was given these targets at the point too. I'm sure Pesero would have thought about this as well too. And something Timmy mentioned earlier, take away the 2008 AFCON where Betty Voss, ironically, for all of his greatness, took Nigeria to the competition. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals. If my memory serves me right, it was Ghana that got us out of that competition. Take that away and take away the AFCONs that we did not qualify for, 2012, 2015, 2017. It looks like it's standard that when Nigeria goes to an AFCON, the minimum is semi-finals. And that's why we won more bronze medals in the AFCON than any other nation in the history of the competition. So that for me is like, it's the most basic thing in life. Getting to the semi-finals of the AFCON for Nigeria should be like qualifying for the AFCON. Once you qualify, try and get to that stage. I don't see it as any serious targets. Austin Eguavon, yes, with his team lost to Tunisia in the round of 16 in AFCON 2021. You see how devastating that was, and you guys have spoken about not forgetting Maduka Okoye. So an average Nigerian expects that when you go to the AFCON, at least bring bronze, come back, no matter how bad he wants to be. And for Shell, I think that he's had the privilege, there's no excuse anymore. He's been with this team. He's played several matches, whether it's from the qualifying series for the World Cup, as many as 4-5, to coming into the playoffs, having the privilege of playing 2 more competitive games than any other African nation apart from DRC on this stage, on this level, as one of the favorites for the competition itself. So he should have had that cohesion and synergy. He should know his best 11 at this stage. I think at least 80% of that best 11. And as a Morocco or a Senegal in the early rounds, it should be normal that Nigeria gets to the semis.
Yeah, and as we draw this Super Eagles focus to a close, Timmy, does winning the African Cup of Nations for the 4th time in the history of Nigeria, does it make up for not making it to the World Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico next year?
Well, in a way, he has to make up. I have always had this opinion that winning the AFCON is far greater than you showing up at the World Cup, because in the end, I don't think Nigeria...
Timmy, can you press rewind?
Yeah, well, I'm saying it again. I think winning the AFCON is far better than going to the World Cup and not winning it. I think for me, that's the best thing that can happen to Nigeria, going to the AFCON, winning the tournament. Because in the end, Wale, you look at it critically, we've been to several World Cups and we've not even gotten to the semi-final. We've not even...
When you say several World Cups, our World Cup started in 1994.
Wale, it doesn't matter.
94, 98, 2010,
Morocco,
2002,
2010.
Yeah, what make you look like we've gone to a zillion World Cups?
World Cup, Morocco has... I don't think Morocco has gone to more than 10 World Cups. They've gotten to the semi-final. Senegal have gotten to... They've broken that quarter-final edge. Senegal, Ghana.
Have you forgotten we're also the first to...
In the round of 16.
No, sorry, the round of 16 before we got bounced by Italy.
But we've not gone past that in recent World Cups, and that's the problem for me. So, for me, I feel that even if we qualify for USA, Mexico, and Canada in 2026, we're not going to win it. That's the real truth.
Do you share the sentiments, Chuma?
Sadly, I don't. I know that, again, for club football fans, they always say, what does it profit a club to finish second in the league and not win anything compared to another one that wins the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup or something. So, from a trophy perspective, I get his POV. But I'm thinking that it wouldn't pacify me or satisfy me. Nigeria winning the AFCON will not take away the embarrassment and shame and anger I have as to not qualify for the World Cup. The World Cup is the biggest party in the beautiful game globally. This is an AFCON now that they're saying they're not releasing players to you until 6 days before the tournament. We know how respected the World Cup is.
Yeah.
So I bet go to the World Cup. We've won AFCON 3 times in our lives. I hold that one for now.
And at least you've
but
seen
qualify
one
for
in
the
your
World
lifetime.
Exactly, bro. But at least qualify for this World Cup. There's a chance that you could get to the second round, at least, as Stephen Keshi did and Clemens Westerhoff also did for us as well, too. So, Nigeria, if you like, win this AFCON, beat everybody 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. It will not pacify me.
Actually,
for the Super Eagles
for me, I think it will be a very good one if Nigeria can win this Nations Cup. Whether or not they qualify for the World Cup, for me, I feel that we are not
Tibi is
prepared.
also making some fair point. Yeah,
not
it is
prepared for
silverware.
this
This is silverware.
We're winning
This
the-
is
the
being the
tournament.
best on the...
At this point is that we are not going to this World Cup. That's the reality on ground. That's how I'm
We're just
asking-
trying to be hypothetical.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I feel I have resigned my faith that we're not going to this World Cup. So what can you do to appease me? It is by you winning this AFCON. Because if you don't win this AFCON, then it's been a shambolic year for Nigeria.
So
it's like, bashing my car so badly and then you buy a TV set for me to appease me. No.
it's not going to be enough.
You
It's
bash
not-
the
it's not gonna
expensive
be-
car now. So that's it. I'll be happy that you bought a TV for me. I'm grateful, but he's not pacified me for the issue.
So, guys, where do you think Nigeria ranks amongst the favorites? If you're probably going to be doing a power ranking of 4 teams who are likely to win the AFCON and you want to put in Nigeria in there, Chuma, where do you think we rank?
If I would fail to qualify for the World Cup, knowing that we had gotten to the AFCON final, I would have ranked us top 2. But as things stand now, with the absence that of some star players in defense and where we are in Nigerian football now, since you narrowed it to 4, I'll put us as number 4. If you expand it to 5, we'll be number 5.
Wants to prove to the Nigerian fans that he's capable of leading Nigeria to glory if given that chance. So I feel Nigeria top 3. In fact, let me give you a shocker. If Morocco doesn't get into the semi-finals, I tip Nigeria as the favorites.
You ask me, I will throw the Jose Mourinho way. If I speak, in a 4 houses or whatever, they promise.
Yeah.
But let's still talk about the absences, because Chuma, those absences are more defensive in nature. He talked about the leader of the industrial action, William Trustekong. He has retired from the national team. Benjamin Fredericks, who's our breakthrough player of the year, is out with injury or line-up. How big of a miss are these names for Nigeria going to AFCON 2025?
Big miss, really, because, again, going back to AFCON 2023 that took place in 2024, William Trustekong, best player in the tournament, for a defender to have gotten that award. Not also around for Nigeria. Benjamin Frederick, Nigeria's was improved player, the best Nigerian player, I dare say, in defense in 2025, not around as well, too. Ola, one of the best right-backs in the Premier League in the last set of years, Nottingham Forest man, also not in the conversation. These are all worrisome signs the amount of players and the quality of the players who are not around. But I'm thinking to myself, you know, this man, he should go to the final and not just stop in the semis. Semi Ajayi. He'll win the mix, you know.
There you go.
I would think himself and Calvin Bassey in the middle of the pack. I know there are people who said, what else does he offer the team beyond defending Semi when he couldn't really stand up amongst the star players to score penalties for us against DR Congo. But I think himself and Calvin Bassey will hold on in that middle of the pack in defense. And then, of course, Zaidu Sanusi from the left side. Now, Bright Osei Samuel is the option I'm thinking of from that right full back position in the absence of Olaino and Benjamin Frederick. And then we hopefully hope that these guys can be impeaching, they say, Kajad enough. For our goalkeeper, maybe it's an upgrade. Maybe that we're now having a European-based goalkeeper coming between the sticks for us in this Nations Cup. Shout out to Maduka Okoye. And then attack. We're blessed.
I have an unpopular opinion on Maduka. I don't know if you guys agree. I think he's a better goalkeeper than Wabali. And you know why? Because by the virtue of him playing the top 5 league in Europe, I think it's better.
I think you have a point there. You have a valid point there. But then again, you look at Maduka Okoye and sometimes his lack of concentration in terms of when you need him to make those saves. Sorry, I'm talking about Stanley Wabali.
Okay, all right.
Not Maduka Okoye, Stanley Wabali. I think the only issue with the goalkeeping aspect is lack of concentration in key moments for Stanley Wabali. And sometimes it can be very playful, which is for me not really necessary. Some things that he does, you look at it and say, this can only happen in the MPFL. You only do these things in the MPFL, not at the international stage. So apart from that, I think I want to still rate Stanley Wabale as one of our very good goalkeepers. But then Maduka Okoye, for me, really stands above Stanley Wabale.
Stanley Maduka needs to
I
go
wouldn't
to
say
tournament.
really, because Stanley has proven himself at
he
Nigerian level.
He has.
Sometimes he can be better at club level, but at national team level, this person.
I think
shines.
your quality should be able to shine through at any level.
I think the only worrying thing
if
for
Maduka can
for
be a
Maduka,
number one at Udinese, this is a big club in the Serie. I mean, at best a modest club in the Serie, top 5 league in Europe. It means something. And when he was out during that ban, he came back and took his place immediately.
Yeah.
That's how highly, you know, the Costas Runyaik rates him.
I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I think the only problem Nigerians have with him is the fact that they haven't forgiven him for that goal he considered against Tunisia.
And guess what? Tunisia in our group again.
Exactly. So maybe he has a chance to redeem himself.
Now, let's talk about the administrators themselves. They have never covered themselves in glory, even with the preparation, the 54-man squad or provisional squad. But we understand, have given the manager, Eric Chell, a target of getting to at least the semi-finals of the AFCON. The Cranes of Uganda take on the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the third Group D match right there in Fez as the Africa Cup of Nations group stage comes to a grinding halt in Group D. And you're welcome to our live watch-along right here in the city of Lagos Civic Center, courtesy 54 Football X, and let's do it again. And I've got Tunde Koiki for company here as we build up to the game that kicks off in less than 20 minutes from now. That's 5 p.m. kickoff time. And we right here at the Civic Center will be watching along and hoping the Super Eagles of Nigeria can make it a clean sweep with 9 points from an available 9 in Group D. Tunde joins me on a massive day like this. Tunde, good evening and welcome to this fantastic setting.
Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. For so long, I've been watching you do these watch-alongs, so it's an honor for me. This is my first ever watch-along, so I plan to enjoy every single minute of it.
All right, let's get going real quick. The lineups are out, but we'll get to that later on. But don't forget that Uganda and Nigeria have some very fantastic history, actually. But they've only met once as far as the AFCON is concerned, and that was way back 1978. Philip Omondi scoring that late winner for the Cranes to get a win over Nigeria. I think it was in the semi-final?
Yeah, semi-final. They went on to subsequently lose to Ghana in the final, but
that was Ghana's last AFCON, right?
Yeah, that was Ghana. But I do recall. No, I think
82.
No, 82. They won in Libya. But I do recall. And I've been speaking to a few Ugandan friends. They told me how it was a party in Kampala that day because they believed that taking down an African giant. So if they win that, if they win today again, if they repeat that, you can imagine that there'll be parties all across Uganda once again, having taken the scalp of one of the biggest teams on the African continent.
All right, we're looking forward to the kick-off, and we can tell you that Eric Chell has made wholesale changes to his squad as far as kickoff is concerned. But before we get to the lineups today, let's quickly take a look at the state of Group C, how it is currently looking like. If we could have that on our screen right now, how the state of Group C is. But we know that the Super Eagles are short of qualification, but not leadership of the table.
Yeah, very true. 6 points from 2 games means that they are, as of today, leaders of the group. It also depends on mathematical calculations, how many Tunisia are expected to beat Tanzania by, if the Super Eagles also lose today to Uganda, God forbid, that might change the equation somewhat. But as it stands, the Super Eagles are one of the teams who have made it into the knockout phase. They will remain in first as group winners, and most likely, from everything that I can garner so far, we might be facing the Mambas of Mozambique in the second round. Now, this is because Nigeria will, if they win this group, Nigeria will play either the third best team from Group A, which has Morocco, Mali, Morocco, Mali, and I can't remember the other 2 teams.
Let's just quickly have it. I think we have the permutations on screen as well.
So as it looks now, Nigeria 6 points from 2 games, looking pretty good, having a place in the second round as well. If they win that group, they will remain in first. They will play either the third best team in Group A, Group B, or Group F. As it stands now, the Mambas of Mozambique are the best third place team because they have 3 points. The third best place teams in Group A and B have only 2 points. So, and those two groups are done.
Okay. And the best way to know a Nigerian is he knows how to do his permutations, right? So that's Tunde.
Yeah,
that's Tunde with his permutations. But if we could have that and see that on the big screen, our likely
opponents in
the round of 16.
No, that's the second round actually.
Oh, the second round actually. So we could probably have that much more later, and we'll talk about it. But like Tunde has rightly said, there is a chance that we could face the Mambas of Mozambique, and that should be a very interesting tie if it does happen. But we still have a game to play today, and it kicks off at 5 p.m. Uganda against Nigeria, and right there in Rabat, it will be the Taifa Stars of Tanzania up against the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. Now that we've seen the lineup, we'll talk about it. I wanted to ask, was it a wise decision by Eric Chell to rotate 7 players, 7 changes is made? Do you think that was the right decision?
Well, that will only be decided after 90 minutes, whether it was the right decision or not. But you look at Eric Chell's team, you have 28 players. What is the point in taking 28 players if you know that at some point in time you cannot call upon their services? And this is probably the biggest issue that actually affected the Super Eagles at the last Africa Cup of Nations. Recall Jose Pesero mainly worked with a small core of players, probably 15 players.
Yeah.
By the time they got to the final, he had driven that team into the ground. They had no rest, and basically they were done by the time they faced a rejuvenated Cote d'Ivoire. So they were basically outmuscled, out-fought in the final. So if you have players, what is the point if you cannot call upon them? 7 changes, some of them were forced upon him. Frank Oyeka had a small ankle knock in that game against Tunisia. The goalkeeper also, Wale, also had knee issues in that game against Tunisia. Before he came to the AFCON himself, he also mentioned the fact that he might be having some issues as well. They're also making changes as far as up front. Paul Onachu comes in, Moses Simon comes in as well. There's also a debut for Ryan Alebiosu. Now, that's an interesting one.
Very interesting.
He's never, ever played for Nigeria at any level. He just made the switch recently, surprised quite a lot of people by even making it to the list. And now you are going to play your very first game for Nigeria at the Africa Cup of Nations. What a day for him and his family. It might be a wonderful story, but from what we've heard about him and what we've seen about him, he's a hard-running fullback, does really well going forward, puts in decent crosses. So it's good to see that he might get his own place in the sun today.
All right, let's quickly go back to the AFCON 2025 road to the final. We will talk about the lineups in a bit more, but there you go on the screen. Nigeria right there at the bottom of the pile on the round of 16. They are likely to take on Mozambique. In fact, as it stands, it's Nigeria, Mozambique in the round of 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations. But if Nigeria do manage to finish second in that group, then we will have to go meet one of the unbeaten teams in this competition. Although it's a weird unbeaten run where they've played they've drawn
3 games
and 3 draws. Then we'll have to play Mali. What would you prefer, Mali or Mozambique?
Of course, Mozambique. The Mambas are not exactly one of the top 10 or even top 20 teams in Africa. On paper, it should be an easy game, but we've shown over this Nigerian national team has shown over the last few years, over the last few months, that playing smaller teams is very difficult for them. So I'd rather, but they also show that they're a competition team. When they do get into a competition, they've always found what is required in order to get a win and to progress. So I'd obviously take Mozambique any day over Mali. The Malian team, really great team, very robust, talented. The way they forced Morocco into a standstill shows that there's so much more to come from them. So I don't want to face them anytime soon.
All right, and don't forget, if we do get past Mozambique, that graphic has just shown us that we'll take on either Algeria or the Democratic Republic of Congo. So looks like there might be a reunion on the cards. DRC, the World Cup playoffs, and Algeria, the AFCON in 2019,
where they eliminated us from in the semifinals. Brilliant free kick by Riyad Mahrez. Francis Uzor will not like to have that reunion with Riyad Mahrez again. But either way, it makes for an enticing second round of 16 if Nigeria does go on to face either one of Algeria or DRC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are still building up to the big one, and Uganda versus Nigeria. It's our final Group C encounter right there in phase, with the Super Eagles having won their first 2 games. I'll be hoping to make it a 100% record in the group stages. But if we can get back to the lineups, let's do that right now and see how the Super Eagles line up for this one. It's Francis Uzoho in goal, Ryan Alebiosu, Igor Ogbu, Calvin Bassi, Bruno Yemechi, Rafa Onyedika, there's Moses Simon, Samuel Chukwueze, Fisal Dele Bashiru, Paul Onuachu, and Victor Osimhen. I mean, off the top of your head, Tunde, you get a feeling this is a classic 4-4-2.
Absolutely. I was telling you about that before we came on air. This is a 4-4-2 diamond. Forget anything you've seen on paper or any of the websites. It's not a 4-3-3. When you have big men like Onuachu and Osimhen up front, when you have wingers like Simon Chukwueze and Moses Simon and Chukwueze on the pitch as well, you know that is a 4-4-2. The question is, how is he going to deploy them as inverted wingers or as traditional wingers where they're hugging in line trying to get in on the crosses? Because these two men, Onuachu and Osimhen, they're probably 2 of the tallest players in the Nigerian team, and definitely will be 2 of the tallest players on the pitch. You expect crosses into them, but how will those crosses come? In an inverted position, or from the traditional bombing down the flank, trying to throw it in. But then there's also Rafael Oyendika who will be playing in defensive midfield. Good to see him as well. Fisal Dele Bashiru has always impressed for Nigeria every time he's played. So it'll be good to see him as well. We'd like to see Igor Ogbu as well, how he'll be able to marshal or face the son of the soil, Uche Okpeazu, the Nigerian heritage Ugandan striker will be facing today. So it's a real good mix of the spine of the team is still solid, if you ask me. He didn't change his entire. Calvin Bassi is still there, and also Bruno Yemechi, which gives some stability and knowledge. So there's also Victor Osimhen, a leader on the pitch, always up for it as well. So I'm expecting him or either Moses Simon to be captain for the day, but it's shaping out to be a good game.
All right, should be a good one. Maybe you could just take a look at how the cranes of Uganda also lining up, and there you go. It's the OG before IG, Dennis Onyango, the Mamelodi Sundowns goalkeeper, the Semakula, Civic, Bobosi, Mato, the player that Tina mentioned, Uche Kweazu, It's the number 9. There's Mutiaba, there's Baba, there's Omedi, Obita, and Kayondo. That's how the Cranes of Uganda do line up. What have you made of the campaign?
So, Dennis Onyango is so old that he's probably they keep him in the freezer and only bring him out in the sun when they have big games.
Definitely.
This is a big game. Uganda are hoping that somehow that they can't make it to the second round. They have 1 point from that game against Tanzania. Could have won it. Remember, until Alan Okello blasted a late 91st minute penalty over the bar. But they're hoping that they can do better in this particular game. There's also another player that I think you should keep your eye on. Rogers Mato, number 7. Excellent finisher. He's a real handful. If he gets going, it can be difficult to stop. So that's another player that you should look out for. I also name checked Uche Kpazu, born of a Nigerian father and a Ugandan mother. According to him, he said he chose the easier option to play for Uganda because, the competition for places in the Nigerian national team are too much. So it's a good, solid Ugandan team. Historically, we've always found it difficult to go against them. Believe it or not, Uganda have beaten Nigeria more times than we have.
Yeah.
4 wins to Uganda, just 2 for Nigeria, and 2 draws. The reason being, from what I've noticed, Uganda don't play typical. They play typical African football. Very physical, very robust. So it's always going to be a tough task against Uganda. And this is another true test of Eric Shell's capacity and the team's mentality.
All right, we're getting closer and closer to kick off. Remember to subscribe to our channel as well. And you are enjoying the very best of the AFCON Watchalong, brought to you by 54 Football X. And also, let's do it again. Can the Super Eagles do it again? It's Nigeria for the win, but the journey continues today in phase. But today, let's discuss the man in form for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and that is Ademola Lookman. It doesn't start today. Maybe it's going to come off the bench as the game continues. But what have you made of his campaign so far?
I like Lookman. There's really nothing to say about him. I've known of him ever since his days at Charlton. I thought he was an exciting prospect, but never in my wildest dreams did I ever believe that I would see an Ademola Lookman playing in the Italian Serie A, winning being decisive in the final of the Europa League as well, playing for Nigeria, winning African Footballer of the Year. He's grown in quantum leaps and bounds, Wale. Not leaps and bounds. Quantum leaps and bounds. That's just how much his game has improved. And he's also always proved that. I think it was a former Super Eagles manager, Sunday Olise, who said something about him, about how he's a decisive player in the final third. Look at how he took his goal against Tunisia. It was basically just him and the last man dropped his shoulder, moved the ball to the right, and just finished with aplomb. And the good thing about him again is he's ambipedal. He can score equally with his left and with his right. Not many players can do that. I'm name checking Simon Chukwueze. If he doesn't move it to his left, he's not shooting. But that's definitely not someone like Ademola Lookman, equally capable of either crossing or shooting with both legs. So obviously, he's definitely an asset of the Nigerian team. And I think how far Nigeria will go in this tournament also depends on just how much Ademola Lookman wants it.
All right, we'll see how it goes if he gets to come into his tally of 2 goals already for the Super Eagles. But don't forget, this tournament's top scorer remains, I believe that's Riyad Mahrez, right? Riyad Mahrez, and Ayub El Kabi, the bicycle kick guy, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a very quick break and enjoy more good music from our DJ in-house. And when we do come back, we'll be joining up with the live action from FaZe as the Cranes of Uganda take on the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and the action is right here at the Civic Center as 54 Football X, and let's do it again combined to bring you the very best of this AFCON Group C encounter. Watch along. Don't go anywhere.
The 2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yala. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the indomitable lions, the stallions, the zebras, the leopards, or the defending champions, the elephants in the room?
Well, wherever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosting to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to Yala!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to Yala. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the indomitable lions, the stallions, the zebras, the leopards, or the defending champions, the elephants in the room?
Well, wherever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosting to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to Yala!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to Yala. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the indomitable lions, the stallions, the zebras, the leopards, or the defending champions, the elephants in the room?
Well, wherever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosting to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to Yala!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to Yala. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the squirrels?
Or I for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the indomitable lions, the stallions, the zebras, the leopards, or the defending champions, the elephants in the room?
Well, wherever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco host to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosting to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosting to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent
Moses Simon is playing from the left. Simon Chukwueze is playing from the right, which means that they'll be throwing in swingers rather than out swingers. Now, that's going to be very interesting how this delivery works because, of course, we do know that Victor Osimhen is very adept in the air. Paulo Onuachu is the tallest player in the Nigerian national team. He's also excellent with his head. So it'll be interesting to see how the Ugandan defenders try as much as possible to stop those crosses coming in. I think that's going to be probably the key battle of this particular match.
And Desire, it'll be interesting to also see how Paulo Onuachu and Victor Osimhen can coexist together in this game.
It will be very interesting to see, and with the player of their caliber, Victor Osimhen, he's got the height. Onuachu have the height as well, and I think the game plan will be to just send in more crosses in the opponent's goal area and have Victor and Onuachu, make the best use of those crosses.
All right, Uganda trying to find or earn their right to play in this one. It's early doors, 3 minutes gone. Bobosi now with the ball. Looking for that pass to free up Ikpeazu. And today that also should be an interesting subplot. Ikpeazu and Calvin Bassey. Actually, the Beninese referee has shown an early yellow card to... That's Calvin Bassey.
Calvin Bassey, yeah. Which is weird, actually, because from what we've seen, both players were actually holding each other. And now this is going to be very, very difficult because you've picked up a yellow card as early as the 4th minute of the game. Now you have to play another 86 minutes trying not to pick up another yellow card. So that is something that we really need to watch. And Ikpeazu has showed himself to be a handful, a quick player who likes to run behind defenders. So this is going to be very difficult for Calvin Bassey. I thought the Benin referee was very harsh. I don't think that was worthy of a yellow card. So this is another support to watch, a referee who is card happy.
All right, don't forget our captain for today is Victor Osimhen. In the absence of Wilfred Ndidi, was part of those wholesale changes Eric Chell made. But Uganda with a free kick, Mato. One player today wanders about pretty much. Plays his football at Varda in Macedonia. Standing over the one. Alongside number 14, Dennis Omedi. The Mato will take that one. It's a long range strike, but it's off target.
Absolutely harmless. What a waste of a free kick. Went nowhere near the goal. Absolute shame.
Desire, as a former player, what do you do when you get yellow carded very early on in the game?
You need to be extremely very careful now because you have to play smart and make sure you don't get a second yellow card, and you need to be very cautious. And once you're cautious on the field, you're bound not to give your best. So I think this will most likely affect Bassey's performance going into the rest of the game.
But does that affect your play though? Does that affect your play knowing that I'm on a yellow card? I really need to be careful. Does that affect your play as a player?
It does. It does affect. I mean, you won't go. You need to mind the way you tackle, the way you have to pay attention to how you defend, and it can actually go on to affect your performance.
Ikpeazu proven to be a bully so far, so good. But looks like a Ugandan player is down. I might need attention.
He said proven to be a bully, proven to be a traitor. His father is Nigerian. Yet he's played against Nigeria. You would thought you'd have a little bit of compassion for his fatherland.
Nigeria's last win against Uganda was an AFCON qualifying back in 2008, I think.
Honor Siasi, I believe.
Was Kano Wankwo was scored?
I think it was Honor Siasi, I believe. Was Siasi the coach, I think, 2008.
That was 2008, yes.
Yes. I remember like it was the National Stadium in Abuja, if I recall.
Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abeokuta.
Yeah. Was it Abeokuta? Okay.
That was the last time we did get a win against the Cranes of Uganda. And having begun the tournament with a loss to Tunisia and a draw against Tanzania It's a must-win game for the Cranes of Uganda if they are to remain alive as far as this tournament is concerned. Roger Mato looks like he's going to be fine, but still limping. One of the danger men for Uganda. So the Beninese referee is going to order for a drop ball. As Dennis Onyango will now restart play.
Elder statesman.
The elder statesman. He's probably the oldest man on the now that he knows his man is yellow carded, he wants to.
Oh, absolutely. He'll be inside. He'll be very, very close to Calvin Bassey all throughout that game, hoping that he can get him sent off, hoping he can get him, in a terrible position where we have to make a choice whether you should go for the man or go for the ball. That's what I would do if I was Uche Okpeazu. But it's almost 10 minutes. And obviously, the momentum out there with the Cranes of Uganda, well, definitely hoping to get a win from this game. But Nigeria now hoping to break out through the flanks. And the ball, obviously, unsurprisingly, comes to Moses Simon, who's Nigeria's creative outlet in this game alongside Chukwueze.
Moses Simon trying to cut in, and he does
Brilliant move by Moses Simon.
But Paulo Nuachu just could not.
Really great wing play by Moses Simon. 8-2 defenders for breakfast.
Calvin Bassey now the ball as the Super Eagles try to enjoy some territorial supremacy now.
Did you say territorial?
Territorial.
I was wondering if this was the National Assembly.
Alright, Super Eagles through to their 16th consecutive knockout stage of the AFCON.
That's a record, actually.
That is heritage as well. Bruno Emechi.
I think it's good now. The Super Eagles are now beginning to get a foothold in this game. Possession is very key.
And what a pass from Calvin Bassey there to Sammy Chukwueze. Chukwueze doing what he knows how to do best. Come inside. Lays it to Fisal Dele Bashiru. Bashiru now. Cross from Lionel Lebioshu. But Uganda very much up to the task as they will try to now clear the lines through
Lionel Lebioshu is rather tall, actually.
I thought he was a centre back.
Yeah, it's really tall for a fullback. I think it's like 6'1", 6'2". That's really tall, and he's quick too.
Desire, 10 minutes gone. Your thoughts?
Well, I think both teams are yet to get their balance. The Nigerian team, I for one, I think they haven't really found their feet yet, and hopefully in the next couple of minutes we'll see them in the game.
The last time Nigeria failed to reach the knockout stage, you have to go back to 1982. That definitely is not happening this time around again.
Yeah, and
we have to wait till 2027.
That tournament was Ghana that won that tournament, and they're not here.
And we have been taunting Ghana all tournament long, but
don't worry.
There are moments when the sun is coming.
He's coming.
It's in just 6 months. Alright, live watch along right here at the Civic Center, brought to you by 54 Football X, and let's do it again. Remember to also subscribe to our YouTube channel as you're enjoying this watch along on YouTube as well. Uganda now with the ball.
What Uganda were doing initially was what we call in football parlance in Nigeria here, initial gaga, trying to unsettle and rattle the Super Eagles. But I think slowly the Super Eagles are beginning to come into the game. They've had better possession in the last 5 minutes as well. Also having to give, this was a great move by Moses Simon, beating two defenders. Unfortunately, That was that Sabo Chukwueze who couldn't get on top of on the end of that cross. If he had struck it properly, that would definitely have made away. But another man walks in. Let's do it again. On Nigeria for the win.
Yes, sir.
A good friend of the house.
Long free kick swung in, but Uche Ikpeazu just couldn't get to the end of it. It's going to be a menace all through this game, isn't it?
It is actually. Now I'm getting a bit worried that the Ugandans, they've actually been trying to rattle Nigeria and unbalance them, and so far they've really done that very well, and I don't know for how long this will continue, but the Super Eagles need to get their acts up and get themselves into this game.
Francis Uzor now with the goalkeeper, and just I want your thoughts on Uzor. I mean, we know that it's not in the good books of football loving Nigerians, but weren't you surprised that it was him, not Amaso Baso, getting goal?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Remember, he was undisputed number 1 for Nigeria for a few years. Played at the FIFA World Cup. Played at an AFCON Cup of Nations before, so his experience definitely puts him.
But he had not been called up under Eric Charles since Charles became manager.
As Ryan Alebu should be called up. I mean, these are the choices that you have to make. And there are those who are even arguing that he has been playing regularly for his club. Not starting for a goalkeeper is one thing, but the fact that you're the match day squad also definitely shows that you are match fit. But I just want to ask Desire Oparanozie what she's made of each Uche Ikpeazu so far. I mean, you are also a handful for many defenders back in your day. Very muscular, very robust performance. I'm sure you must be happy with the way you're playing so far, despite the fact that it's playing against Nigeria.
Yeah, of course, I am totally impressed. I mean, we play some sort of similar kind of football, and what he's done so far is intimidating defenders, trying to commit them and not allowing them space, so which is really very good.
Lovely work from Rana Lebios. He still manages to get the cross, but it's come off not too good there, and he's wreathing in pain.
I think the defender cleared him out.
Yeah, and that was
did everything as possible.
That was Kayondo.
Did everything to ensure that cross didn't make it to its destination, but no, he definitely went for the man.
Yeah, Kayondo barged into him.
Definitely went for the man. Now, ordinarily, in my opinion, this should be a yellow card. It was very clear that he had no idea.
That's a foul. That's a foul.
He had no. Yeah,
it's an aggressive.
He never had his eye on the ball.
I'm surprised the linesman didn't raise his flag. The referee said nothing, but yeah, for an innocuous challenge, he's already given a yellow card to Calvin Bassey.
And talk about being surprised, guys, as we see Bright Osai Samuel on the sidelines, in case Brian cannot continue. But I'm also surprised that I didn't see the captain spring to the crime scene. That's Victor Osimhen. Do you think it's all part of the message from the manager that as captain today, you have to take it very much easy, your emotions, because we know that Victor in this tournament will seen him very much
vocal, very hyped up.
Sometimes maybe cannot keep it in check. Could that be the messaging from the manager that your captain today, you just need to take it a bit easy?
Okay, what are you asking me? There's a former Nigerian captain here. Ask her. What does the captain do?
Well, I mean, there's a possibility that instruction may have been given to him, because naturally Victor is, sometimes over agitated. He allows emotion gets to him and all of that, and we can't have the leader of the team unnecessarily get himself involved in some fracas like that, to avoid unnecessary yellow cards and all of that. Perhaps maybe that conversation may have gone on.
So you're saying, inshallah, I told you that, Ogbeni, ice water.
Possibly. Knowing who Victor Osimhen is, I think it's possible.
Dangerous ball into the area, but Bruno Emechi is quick to quickly spot that. Kayondo with that deep run from the left back position, almost similar to what we saw minutes ago, but Sam Chukwueze.
In this situation, I don't know if any of you saw whose position in that cross.
Uzor's position?
Yes, before that cross came.
Nah,
you said his positioning was not so good?
Yes, it wasn't.
Alright, we'll keep an eye on that definitely as Uganda take a quick corner kick to the area, and his positioning this time around is very much better, right?
Very, very good. Very good.
I hope we can see a replay of that.
And the manager for Uganda,
Paul Paul Pot, man who knows Nigeria quite well.
Yeah.
Was the coach of the Burkinabe national team that faced Nigeria in the 2013 AFCON final.
In South Africa.
Lost to Nigeria, but I'm sure he'd love to give some measure of revenge. But hopefully the gods of football will not allow him.
Uganda on the attack once again. They've been on top in the last few minutes of this encounter. Cross comes in, but the finish was lacking from Dennis Omedi.
I wasn't sure what he was trying to. Was he trying to control the ball, or was he trying to strike on goal?
It felt like
he was trying to control, I think, or maybe but he didn't get it. But there are obviously cracks showing in that Nigeria national team. Some of these balls are being allowed to come in too easily. Some of these runners from the Ugandan team getting behind the Nigerian defense too easily. I think this is where Nigeria really need to start imposing themselves as quickly as possible. We've always said that attack is the best form of defense. When your opponents are basically trying to stop you from attacking, trying to stop you from breaching their back line, too busy trying to contain you, they have no time to spring attacks of their own. So Nigeria really needs to start doing something. Yes, intercepting balls, stringing together passes, ensuring that they have better possession as well. That's the only way they can unsettle this Ugandan team.
Alright, Uganda once again the attack. Uche knocking it down for Omedi. Back to Omedi. Omedi not offside, and that was a Trivela cross there from Dennis Omedi.
It looked like it was offside.
Yeah, it was offside.
Yeah.
Looked like Ipiazu was offside there, but
not here. I think it was here. Here,
okay.
Offside. Yeah.
But did you see that? Cut back into his left and centre Trivela.
Nah.
But Desire, what do you think needs a big game today for the Super Eagles? Remember, made about 7 to 8 changes. Who needs to convince Eric Chell today?
Say that again.
Who needs to really convince Eric Chell today?
I think everybody on the field, even his regular starters.
Even Osimhen?
Yes.
Really?
The Super Eagles need to keep 100% record in this group stage. They will need the motivation. They will need that moral booster to get into the knockout stages. You know, once they are, I think it will set a message to their opponent. So with that 100% record, the Super Eagles need it. So every player on this field need to play their hearts out, impress the coach, so that going into the next game, the coach will have tough time choosing his starting 11.
Sunday, I think Rafael Indika needs a big game.
Yes, he does. I've always felt that Eric Chell never doesn't trust him. Even when he needs a backup for Wilfred Ndidi, he's never his first choice option. But the ball comes into the box, anyone want to get to the end, not possible. Nigeria still hoping to progress with this attack. Bruno Yemechi trying to make progress on the flank, but he stopped. And this is how we want to see Nigeria play, on the front foot. That puts the Ugandan defense under pressure, busy trying to contain the Nigerians. But it's Uganda back with the that changed hands very quickly.
Bad luck for Mato there. Slipped. But I'm also glad that Ran Elibiosu is fine. After that, coming together with Kayondo now, Moses Simon on the left flank. Sends a cross in, but Mobita is up to it. But ball lands to Sam Chukwueze. He was trying to win a corner kick, but Kayondo will clear. Just out for a throw in. Super Eagles increasing the tempo here. Still 0-0 after 20 minutes in Fez. But we are right here in Lagos. 54 football. Let's do it again. Right at Civic Center. Moses Simon tries to knock it down for Saudi Bashir.
Yeah, that's a poor ball. But you could see what he was trying to do. Give and go. Trying to make progress down the flanks. But you must give the Ugandans some credit as well. They've been very game. Nigeria back in possession as well, and this is Samuel Chukwueze trying to make progress on the flank. He's dribbling in one-on-one positions have been pretty poor of late, and that's why the Ugandans have possession with the ball. They're making the fast break, but it's been cut out.
Alright, another turnover as Super Eagles regain possession. Calvin Barsi. Game threatening to burst into life as Paul Onuachu chases, and that was a wrong pass from the Ugandan central defender Sibik to Onyango, and it's out for a corner kick. Looked like Onyango
It's maybe looking his age as well. He tried to chase that one.
Elder statesman.
Let's take a look at that once again. Onuachu gives it a good chase. But Sibic's back pass.
Very poor back pass.
Yeah, and honestly,
I think he slipped on the advertising, on the floor advertising. Hopefully, it hasn't sprained his ankle. I'm hoping not.
Yeah,
it'll be a big shame. He's holding his ankle. It's definitely serious.
Sort of a freak injury.
Absolutely. And that's an interesting thing about football at times. Some of the most ridiculous things have happened that have given players injuries. I've had players drop a perfume bottle on his toe, cut his toe, he couldn't play. Another one was chasing his dog. He ran into something, ruptured an ACL.
What's the
exactly? Thank you. What's the strangest injury that you've ever had
as a footballer?
I've never really had an unprovoked injury. No.
All of yours have been on the pitch.
There's always been a cause.
But Onyango is fine, and play will resume. Still 0-0, and we'll check on Rabat and see what's happening between Tanzania.
It's goalless.
Tunisia, it's goalless in that one as well.
Goalless in that game.
So as it stands, Nigeria still tops Tunisia in second. Both teams will march into the round of 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations.
Now this is where we miss Ademola Lookman. We talked about him earlier on, but also we must also mention the fact that his dead ball delivery,
the quality of his delivery,
absolutely spot on.
Yeah,
absolutely spot on. And you know, Desire Oparanozie can attest to that. If you have quality deliveries coming in from dead ball positions, it makes your job easier. It even excites you knowing that 9 times out of 10 this ball will come to me.
True, totally. And with the kind of attacking players Nigeria have, they should be able to, bring in those direct crosses that are top quality for the likes of Osimhen and Onuachu to finish on them.
Alright, there you go. Uganda still rooted to the bottom of the table, but a lot can still change between now and full time.
So this is the problem for me, Wale. You have 2 tall center forwards, Paul Onuachu and Victor Osimhen. How many crosses have you seen in the last 25 years?
You're not going to get crosses because your wingers are inverted. They're not going to get to the byline.
Now you're talking, and this is exactly where the problem lies for me. And she can attest to it. If your inverted wingers are cutting into the pitch, it's normally because they want to strike on goal, not because they want to cross. So that leaves someone like Onuachu, who is 6'6", and Osimhen, who is 6'2". It leaves them at a disadvantage. They're not getting any crosses. That means they're absolutely not in the game.
True, totally. That's actually what I thought when I saw the pair of both of them. I thought by now we would say, tens of crosses in the 18, and hopefully they will, make the best use of it. But so far we've not seen any of those.
Almost every team you see these days in the modern game have got inverted wingers, and it's frustrating. I mean, gone are the days when the wingers will go down to the byline and send those crosses in. But these days, everyone wants to come inside. I don't know what's inside.
It's a tactical switch that happened in Europe, I think, over the last 15 years.
Yeah.
The crossing really is now done by your fullbacks overlapping, while your winger is trying to invert,
underlap,
and trying to get a strike on goal. Players like Arjen Robben made it very, very popular because they are scoring tons of goals. Frank Ribery as well, they also made it very popular as well. So Mohamed Salah as well, inverting, scoring tons of goals. So because of that, many managers in modern football now look for an inverted winger because they believe crosses do not offer statistically a good chance of scoring, whereas an inverted winger can get a strike on goal, either it goes in or the goalkeeper spills it and they can pick up a rebound. But like you said, we might see a return to it sometime in the future.
Uganda have conceded 4 goals from the 7 shots on target they have faced at the tournament, but they are yet to face one in this game, as we see some familiar faces on our screen. Or a familiar face.
I was wondering because I don't know another person apart from one face. You say familiar faces. There's only one familiar face I see there.
Uganda with a throw, 27 minutes gone. It's Uganda 0, Nigeria 0, final Group C game.
in Fez. And it's also goalless in Rabat between the Taifa Stars of Tanzania and the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. Lovely pass from Chukwueze towards Osimhen. Was going to come inside.
Really good by
Victor. Can he get the cross in? Set to his left and the right.
First for the ball!
What a
really
miss
brilliance
from Paul Onuachu.
An excellent move by Victor Osimhen. Burst down the flank, cuts back. I thought we were going to take a strike or goal. Unselfishly lays it to Paul Onuachu. Onuachu does everything right except hit the back of the net. Good move by Nigeria.
Desire, was that a miss or a save?
It's a miss for me. It's a
chance again. This is Sadile Bashiru.
First goal.
Paul Onuachu finally gets his goal. It's Uganda 0, Nigeria 1 in Fez. Paul Onuachu with his first of the tournament as the Trabzonspor striker opens the scoring. Uganda 0, Nigeria 1. Assist from Fisayo Dele Bashiru and Tunde. That was some fantastic piece of attacking play from Nigeria.
Good move by Nigeria. Really good move. And I just love the one-touch football to break down the flank. Also, Fisayo Dele Bashiru as well. Great presence of mind to find a striker. Paul Onuachu, really good for him. Redemption. Remember, a lot of people might not know, but this is actually just his second game under Eric Schell. He'd never been called up before. His first game was actually in that friendly match against Egypt in that 2-1 loss. And he's now made a real, definitely justified his call-up. He scored tons of goals in Turkey. A lot of people wondered why he'd never been called up, but he's justifying that. Victor Osimhen offside again.
His second game under Eric Schell, but his third AFCON for the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Desire. I mean, how good of a goal was that from Paul Onuachu?
It was a good goal. That goal started from the quick restart of play from the throw-in after he missed that goal. From the far end of the field. They swing it in from that side all the way to here, and then Bashiru's run was very timely, and then one touch pass to Onuachu. Great finish. It was a good piece of work.
So all of the good starts Uganda have had left undone. Super Eagles are gone in for more here. Paul Onuachu and Victor Osimhen
linking up very well, actually. I was actually a bit concerned about if both players could play together. They seem a bit similar in style in terms of their body physique, but you almost also remember that while Victor Osimhen is never stopping, always on fire, constantly moving, he will be the perfect foil for Paul Onuachu, because Victor Osimhen drags away multiple defenders, leaving Onuachu pretty free. The emphasis is on Victor Osimhen from a defensive standpoint, allowing an Onuachu to find space. But I'm just happy because it shows that there's desire in this Nigerian team to get a win. There's desire to break into this box and try and upstage the Ugandan defense. There's also desire for someone like Paul Onuachu to show that he can he can actually make a stake for a starting shirt. And there's also desire here with us as well. So much desire.
And there's desire for Uganda to get back into this one.
There's good desire, Taya.
As Uganda tried to wrestle back dominance. Free kick to Uganda. I talked about them having conceded 4 from the 7 shots on target, and just when we had our second shot on target, we scored them, and that was it again. Lovely vision from Fisayo Dele Bashiru. I mean, could have gone for glory there.
Yeah. He had so many choices. He could have taken on, or Onyango had committed himself, dragged the ball to his left, but would have narrowed the angle to go. He would have definitely had to have cut back. But it's all about choices. Everybody made a good choice. Bruno Yemachi made a good choice to pass forward. Fisayo Dele Bashiru also made a good choice to make the run. He also made a good choice to square the ball instead of trying to dribble past the goalkeeper. So it's all been good choices everywhere, and that's why Nigeria leads.
Free kick to Uganda from distance.
Onyango is still down. I think that,
down,
that ankle is still bothering him.
Doesn't look like he's recovered well, and looks like his race
He's done.
is done.
That's a shame. Elder statesman of Ugandan football. Substitute goalkeeper already warming up. Oh, no, and this is always a very, very, very ominous sign when the player takes off his boots. It shows that the issue is more serious than we anticipated. Normally, when the magic spray comes out, they just spray it on it. It seeps in through the stocking or the clothing, and that should be sorted out. But the fact that they're actually taking off the boots, I'm not sure it's going to continue, and Uganda might be forced into an early change.
Magola is getting ready to come on, but the medics still taking a look at Dennis Onyango. As we can see, a cross section of Nigerian fans
and Ugandan fans as well.
Yeah,
I wonder what the Ugandans are celebrating.
It could be that they are celebrating just being there, watching a live game.
Exactly, has to be, because they're a man down. They're a goal down. They probably might be a man down, but Onyango is gingerly testing out that ankle.
There's difference from Onyango to want to continue, and you can understand it's probably his last AFCON, and he doesn't want to bow out this way.
I'm not so sure, Wale.
I think he might be able to manage it. It's ankle, so ankle injuries are.
There's a feeling that he might just continue.
Yeah, since they've strapped on it now, I think he might be able to continue.
This is one of the best goalkeepers in Africa. He's been an excellent servant of the game. Made his mark at Mamelodi Sundowns. Was a key part of their title Africa Champions League winning squad. I mean, he's an icon. He's already part of the Mamelodi Sundowns goalkeeping coaching unit as well. So it's obvious that he's already thinking about the future, but still working gingerly. At this point, I'd like to ask, when you see that the goalkeeper is struggling a bit, is that when you start firing shots left, right, and center, knowing that this man leg no balance?
Yeah, of course.
It's a possible point,
yes,
right?
we'll always want to take advantage of that.
Look at this time.
Yes, but the thing about goalkeepers is, if now that is a lower body injury, I think they can still, give their best regardless. But if it's an upper body injury, shoulder, fingers, I mean, there's a possibility. Head. There's a possibility that he might not be able to continue.
What about the adrenaline? Sometimes you're injured, but you're too hyped up, you're too pumped up, you don't want to go off. Can that be a good thing or a bad thing? Is it dangerous, or just I beg my body not to continue? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
I think it depends on the individual, So I mean, there is usually a balance depending on who's involved.
Nigeria have won each of the last 4 AFCON group matches. The final 2 games of the 2023 tournament. 1-0 wins over Cote d'Ivoire and Guinea-Bissau. And also, they are on the way to a 5th consecutive AFCON group stage win. And Nigeria last won 5 consecutive AFCON group matches when they claimed their final 2 games in 2004 and all 3 group games in 2006. That was in Ghana. Or Egypt 06?
Egypt was 06.
Egypt 06, Ghana in 2008. Super Eagles on the attack. Saudi Lebashiru trying to connect to Sam Chukwueze, but didn't decide on time. As Uganda win a free kick. Lebashiru apologizing to Sam Chukwueze, but he was trying to atone for that, but he's giving away a free kick after fouling Kayondo. Then Lebashiru, one of Nigeria's players who always gives you a 7 over 10 every time you see him play, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've always liked him. I think he makes good choices. I think he's really good in one-on-one positions as well. I think he has really good feet in terms of dancing past opposition. I've always liked him, but when you also realize that he's up against an Alex Iwobi, who gives most of time at 8.5%, 8.5 over 10. That's the only reason why Fisaya Dele Bashiru is not starting. He's good enough, but I believe that Alex Iwobi offers more, which is exactly why he's not starting. But he also wears the number 10 jersey, which is a major bright putter. It's a millstone around his neck. And Desire Oparanozie is here. She can also help us unpack that. Does a jersey number, is it a psychological thing? You know that I'm wearing number 10 for Nigeria, wearing number 9 for Nigeria, wearing number 4 for Nigeria. This is an iconic number that some of the best players in Nigeria have won. Can it be an issue for you, knowing that you are carrying the hopes and dreams of so many people, that traditional number?
Yeah, it is definitely. It's a determining factor. I mean, numbers have significance, and for a striker, for example, now number 9 jersey. I mean, you have to, wearing that jersey number, you have to deliver on it. You have to, score goals and make it count. That the fact that you're wearing that jersey, it's not a fluke.
I mean, you're hitting a number that was won by legends like JJ Okocha.
Yeah.
Definitely an issue for you.
Super Eagles now with the ball. 38 minutes gone. Closing in on half time. Long ball towards Moses Simon. Controls it well.
What a pass.
The Paris FC player cuts inside, but tries to recover. Still with the ball on the edge of the box. It's Bruno Emechi. It's lovely leg work there. Finds ball Nacho, who just can't sort himself out. And Dennis Onyango
still struggling with this ankle.
Very obviously struggling.
You can see him grimacing. I mean, it's just, why doesn't he just call it quits?
Soldiering on. Well, that was some good ball work from Moses Simon.
Really good wing play. Onachu couldn't bring the ball under control. He didn't bring it under control, couldn't get the pass.
Yeah, I was just trying to link up with Victor Osimhen there. But Baba, not Anya, deflected it back to Dennis Onyango.
Now, you see, Onyango is actually selecting which foot to land on. When he went in the air, could have landed on his left, but in mid-air, he chose to land on his right, because it's obvious that he's still feeling a significant amount of pain. He can't continue. It's a question of when they're going to take him off, not if.
I think the moment is now. Magola is definitely going to be replacing Dennis Onyango as it stands. And with these stoppages, we know that we're going to get a sizable number of minutes.
I don't think
additional time.
Yeah, I don't think we might get more than 3 minutes, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's best they sub him off, because with that amount of pain, there will always be pressure on him.
Yeah.
He's playing against Nigeria, and he will definitely be busy for the rest of first half. So I think it's best they sub him off. Perhaps they may want to wait till after first half.
He's back on his feet again, strangely. But like Tunde said, he's selecting what fits to land on.
So this is what I need to ask you. Psychologically, how does this Ugandan team take this? Not just any player is going off. The most capped player in their team, the most experienced player in the team, the captain of the team is about to be substituted.
Guess what? It's refused to be substituted.
Wow.
Well,
he still wants to go on.
This man will be there for Puchu.
And you know what? He's a senior member of the squad,
so he's allowed to make that.
Paul Boots definitely will have to
defer to him.
Yeah,
is that right, Desire?
But I think another factor could be because maybe even with the amount of pain he's feeling, he's still better than the substitute goalkeeper. Yes.
So even his 1.5 leg or 1 leg.
It's possible. I mean, if the second goalkeeper is as good as him, I don't think they would have.
And to be fair, Onyango, his distribution has been good, especially when finding Ochekweazu.
But can a player make that kind of decision? It's clear to everyone in the stadium and also outside the stadium that he's not fit to continue. Is he allowed to make that choice and tell the manager?
You just called him an elder statesman. That's why he's an elder statesman.
Yeah, but he's the player. He's not the coach. If he wants to coach, he can go and do his coaching badges and sit on the bench. Can a player make that decision? Does it make sense?
Well, at this point, I don't know. Is it his decision? Are you sure it's the player's decision?
All right, Nigeria on the attack now. Ryan Alebiosu on the right hand side as he bombs forward. Cuts back, sends a tantalizing cross in there. Moses Simon! Well, that's blocked by Obita.
Nigeria with the possession, trying to walk the ball back into the box.
Chukwueze with an in swing. Nigeria still retaining possession but losing this time around.
Nah, that was poor play by Nigeria. They've tried to force the situation. Should have just kept position, string it around, try and displace the Ugandans, moving from side to side, try to work for openings. I thought they tried to force the situation, which wasn't necessary. Moving from left to right, as I like to call it, special displacements, when you are forcing the defenders, moving it from left to right, working it, looking for runners, looking for gaps in the defense. Nigeria has played really well so far. Very mature performance. I thought they haven't been, too overwhelmed. I thought they managed to keep the Ugandans at bay. But maybe it's just me talking. I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I totally agree with you. I think they need to be more patient on the ball. Like sometimes they force attack. Like in this case now, just shortly before now they tried to crossing the ball into the 18. It wasn't working. I expected them to keep the ball, play from right to left. But for that to happen, we also need players to be very mobile. All the players, for as long as they want to keep the ball, there should be players available, making runs and giving one or two options for the balls. And mobility is what is required to actually keep absolute ball possession.
Uganda now with a free kick after a foul from Ryan Alebiosu. Can also tell you that Tunisia have taken the lead in Rabat. Ismail Garbi, the Augsburg player, giving the Carthage Eagles the lead against the Taifa Stars. And there you go, confirmation there. Tanzania 0, Tunisia 1. Free kick to Uganda as our Beninese referee tries to lecture the wall, the Super Eagles wall, that they have to be very careful there. I think Uche Kwiazu has something going on between himself and Paulo Nuachu. I think some theatrics there. He's just trying to make a meal of that. The St. Johnston forward.
You should speak Igbo to him.
two Igbo brothers, right? So we're still waiting on that free kick to be taken. It's Omedi on that one. We haven't seen much for Omedi and Mato. But free kick, it's a low one. The wall repels that one. Long range effort. But that will do no harm as Bobosi's long range strike is off target, and the Super Eagles will now heave a sigh of relief. 4 minutes added on. Desire.
Tunisia is 1 up. 4 minutes added on. Uzo is almost on vacation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't really been tested, so that's a testament to how good the Nigerian defense have performed so far.
We are approaching half time, and this Watchalong is brought to you by 54 Football X. Let's do it again. As Nigeria tries to go on for the win. A 4th African title. The last came back in 2013 in South Africa. Can we get the 4th in North Africa? That's the $1 million question, but there's only one way to find out, as Nigeria is well on its way to take on the Mambas of Mozambique in the round of 16 of the AFCON 2025. Ryan Alebiosu. So what have you made of Alebiosu's debut so far?
Oh yeah, I think he's been solid. I think he's been very good. Very physical as well. Loves to get forward, which is very important for a fullback who's playing in an inverted system, because he's trying to give width and also to provide a crossing. So I thought he hasn't been bad. He's showed a great engine, really good powers of recovery as well. He's been physical. It's almost a perfect debut. The only thing that he hasn't done he's had an assist, but defensively, he's been solid. I'd probably give him a very strong 7.5 or 8/10 so far.
Some high praise from Tunde for Alebiosu. He's done his duties really well. He's defended stoutly and offered a lot of attacking impetus. Now 2 minutes of the 4 additional time gone as Dennis Onyango continues to soldier on, the soldier that he is. Uganda now on a rear attack, but Mato is out-muscled by Oyemechi, but tries to get the ball back, but it's going to be out for a throw-in. Started like a house on fire, the St. Johnston forward, but you know what they say, shoe gets size. And Calvin Bassey, despite that early yellow card, has been able to handle him well. Desire, as we wrap up this first half, what have you made of this first period for the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
I mean, it's a good game so far. They've tried to, contain the Ugandans, and defensively they've done very well. But I think the Super Eagles are still struggling in the middle, and those final third passes, and we've not seen any of them, because Iwobi is not on the field, because he's one player that can actually get in those pocket passes in the opponent's offensive area. We've not seen that, and the Ugandans are playing a little bit in the middle. Nigeria need to take care of that coming into the second half.
All right, we're just few seconds away from half time. Uganda 0, Nigeria 0. Paul Onwachu to Sam Chukwueze, who has been largely ineffective. Yeah, Tunde said he's been busy but ineffective. But that's classic Sam Chukwueze though. Long ball towards the Fulham player. Tries to beat his man but unable to do that, but wins a free kick. It's been fouled by Kayondo. Kayondo has been very much busy on that left flank. And somehow, some way, Victor Simeon has been on Casper mode. He's been on ghost mode.
He has been, actually. So
maybe he's missed Ademola Lookman.
Definitely. Lookman, Iwobi, I think those are the two players that supplies the balls to him more than any other player in the Super Eagles squad. So I think he's missed them in this game. It's very obvious. He's been very silent in this game.
Both of Osimhen's AFCON goals have been assisted by Ademola Lookman, and both were headers. Free kick to Nigeria. Sam Chukwueze is going to swing this one in, and that will be the final piece of action in this Group C AFCON game, but it's taken by Moses Simon. But that was taken care of by the Ugandan backline as they tried to launch a counter-attack. Uche Kwiazu now with the ball. Bebosi instead, where it's been outrun by Bruno Emechi. It's half-time in Fez. Uganda 0, Nigeria 1. Goal from Trabzonspor forward, top scorer in the Turkish Super League. Paul Onwachu's first of this tournament. As we get ready for the second period, there's also 1-0 Tanzania trail to Tunisia. But Nigeria still leaders in Group C. We'll let the DJ on the wheels of steel take it away. And we'll be back for some halftime analysis. Stay.
Don't go carry last.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosting to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosted to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosted to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
A game of twists and turns when Uganda come in pressing them like agege bread. But the Super Eagles of Nigeria say not today, not on this ground, not on this familiar ground that we have taken Tanzania, Tunisia, and now we're going to put Uganda to rest. Of course, it's time to test the polls of the fans, those who are the best coaches in town. You know, everyone is the coach when you watch a match. So come with me, let's test the polls of the fans. All right, we've had a full 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to be coming close to you. I don't know why you're not on green. Are you a patriotic Nigerian?
Yes, I am.
Why are you not on green today? Can't you see 1 goal? Leading 1 goal already.
It's 1-0 at half time. Hopefully the Super Eagles can come out, so I'll go on blazing in the second half. We need to put the game at maybe like 60 minutes by 3 to 4 goals. So let's get it done and dusted at a very early stage. We don't have to make it look like against Tunisia that we're strong. At 95th minute, everybody's still on the edge of the seat.
Now, see the way you're saying, let's get it done and dusted like you are one coach. You sat down here to watch the match, but Eric Shell is there cooking. Come on.
And I think at this point for Eric Shell is just to tell the boys to get it done very early. We don't need to waste any more time. By now we should be looking at the second round. Just be cautious, no injury, and let's enjoy the game.
Okay, enjoying the game, that's what we're doing, and I'm very sure that's what you're doing without your brain. But it's fine, let's test the polls of another fan in this viewing center. Oh, Friday, you are a chief from Port Harcourt. This hat, you should be over there in the stands, but it's great to talk to you at this time. We have Onuochu. We saw that effort he made. Dennis Oyango coming all out with that save. Even the Ugandans, they pressed us. Aggregate bread past that one, that pressing they gave us. But at the end of the day, we lead 1 goal. We saw that starting lineup rotation. Did you think that was a good risk to be taken by Shell?
I think the coach did well. Much needed rest for certain players that would go on to feature in the knockout stage, and importantly, he has handed debut to certain players that we can see them. I mean, Brian doing well. A lot of people have also spoken extensively about giving opportunity in the midfield. He has done that. I think it would just boost the morale of everyone in camp and let every player see themselves as, you know, a part of the unit. So good one to rest some players. Ademola Lookman, Wilfred Ndidi. I'm hoping that, you know, when we take on the next team, I don't know, Mozambique or Angola, you know, after the first 20 minutes, they go down collect. Their body go down tell them, because we have to go all the way and win this edition.
All right, it's the first half already, and we've seen how the Super Eagles have played, but how many goals do you think will come after?
I think in the second half, the goalkeeper of Uganda would most likely not return. If he does, most likely 3-0, because I'm sure that the players know that that's his leg, that outside they go, they play the ball, they go, so that he no go fee go down that way, make the team no go worsen.
You so much believe in Uzoho. Remember Uzoho that gave us a heart attack. So now at this time you're saying a clean sheet for Uzoho?
Yes, I don't see any, aside from Ipazu that has been running and trying to just knock anybody down. I don't think that they would put our defense under too much pressure and get a goal. I mean, if they were to get a goal in this game, would have been in like the first 10 minutes of this game. As he did like this, now may they forget Uzo in first clean sheet, but making no come go they shake, because the problem now say small loss of concentration. Now you go make mistake, and we know they forgive you. We dey here now, we dey happy say we dey win. If you do anyhow, we go still send and go in Papa house.
Not be cha. It's all about workings. But let's test at the pause of a lady this time. Come on, I should have done ladies first, but don't worry, I'll do ladies too. Let me sit. Oh, no. It's yes. No. Say yes. Baby, what have you seen so far? Nigeria leading at this time and putting smile on our faces.
Yeah, it's been good so far. I'm not big on football. Yeah, so but
you're not big on football, but you came to eat our small chops.
No, I came to support Nigeria, obviously. Okay. Yes, and they've been doing so well. They should take advantage of the goalkeeper that his leg is bad. They should take advantage of that. But I think that guy is Fagidi Bobo. He's going to come back again. Yeah.
So what are you expecting when you're going into the second half?
2 more goals. Let's make it 3. Maybe 1 for Iwobi.
Is that your crush?
Something like that.
all right, I'm gonna do 2 ladies. Yes, make it even and square. I'm coming here. Don't even. Okay. I did not see her, but she's a Nigerian fan indeed, bona fide. Come on, baby, let me have a sit there. You wear jersey. You supposed to collect souvenir. So tell us, how far so far?
Before I get my comments, why did you put me on the spot?
Oh my darling, that's what we do, because we are here to watch something that's got to do with sports.
So I don't know so much about football, but
I'll take great. Why are ladies always using this line? Stop this line. I don't know something about football. But before you know it, you'll give us tactics. So tell us anything you know about football, what you've watched so far.
I'm impressed compared to the last AFCON. There are good matches now, great passes. I like the fact that Victor is not putting so much emotions as the captain. So I'm expecting 2 more goals at the next half. Hopefully I come back to watch Nigeria in the finals.
Did you see the person that said she doesn't know anything about football? Stop it. But do you want to see changes?
changes will definitely come. It will happen. Yeah, Nigerians will up their game.
Who do you want taken out? Just mention the name. Maybe you don't like his face.
I mean, they all look good, so
she's here for who looks good and who doesn't. Do you have a crush in the Nigerian team?
It's definitely Osimhen.
Osimhen has got a crush. Hey!
Mommy watches this.
All right, you've heard it from them. Both ladies have crushes in the senior men's national team, the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We're gonna go for the second half, and I'm hoping that those names that have been mentioned here, they live up to the task. So, see you soon.
Stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosted to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosted to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco!
Of this Group C encounter in Fez, as Paul Port will be making 2 half-time changes to replenish the squad, but still no sign of Dennis Onyango coming off. But we'll confirm the two substitutions. But welcome back to live watch-along right here at the Civic Center.
The player coming on is Alan Okello. He was the one who failed to score the 91st minute penalty that they got against Tanzania. That would have given them 3 points and a possibility of qualifying for the second round.
This is brought to you by 54 Football X and Let's Do It Again. As Eric Chell also makes a halftime change. It's nonce defender Chidozie Awaziem, who most likely has come on for Calvin Bassey. Or Samu Chukwueze, we'll get confirmation of that. Right? Oh, finally Magula. The standing goalkeeper will also be coming on for Dennis Onyango.
He's also taking the captain armband as well. So, change from both sides. How that will affect the game remains to be seen. But it's good to see that, I mean, the game has been played in a really good atmosphere. Very competitive. Uganda really wanted this game. And it's still, my prediction, pre-match prediction is still holding true. A narrow win to Nigeria. But there's still 45 minutes to be played, and so anything and everything can happen.
So there we go. Second half kicks off right there in Fez. Kayondo now with the ball. Sends a pass towards Mato to Kwiazu. Kwiazu in the box. Sends a cross in. But that was a timely intervention from Bruno Emeshida.
I'm not sure. I think there's an offside there somewhere because.
But look like Kwiazu was offside in the build-up.
Apparently.
But he got the benefit of the doubt from the assistant referee. And by the time the cross came in, but that was still a great piece of defending.
Yeah, great intervention by him. He was switched on all throughout, kept his eyes on the ball all through, and even he had actually picked out the offside because immediately that ball was played, he put his hand up, calling for an offside decision to be given. But really good performance by the Nigerian defense once again.
That's confirmation now. Okele on for Travis Mutiaba. Chidozie Awaziem also for Calvin Bassey, like I rightly predicted. But Desire, what are you expecting from the Super Eagles in the second period?
Well, I expect to see more goals. I mean, those crosses needs to come in. Onachu's potential need to be utilized. He's got the height, so they need to, find him in the open.
He's 6'7" tall. He's the tallest player on the pitch. So, and for some reason, he hasn't even had one header. That's a problem.
It is a problem. So we need to see that, and they need to. The wing players need to send in those crosses and make sure they get to him.
It must be frustrating if you are Victor Osimhen or Oparanozie.
It must also be frustrating if you are also Uche Ikpeazu as well. Haven't gotten any kind of change from the Nigerian defense. But it's very clear to everyone who can see that he's definitely not East African. He's bigger, he's bulkier, more muscular than every other person in that Ugandan team. And that's why he's definitely been a handler. He's well known, like he's played against his brothers. So it's big. That's why he, more than any other Ugandan player, has been really, really physical, because he has the attributes to be able to worry players that he's, I don't know, do I say genealogically closer to?
There's always a point to prove. You're playing against your country. So
exactly.
You need to, for those of us professional players, when, let's say for example, when you're playing against your former club, maybe didn't treat you well, so against them you want to play. Exactly, there's a point. So I think for him it is that's why he's giving in everything just to prove a point.
And also confirmed that the Taifa Stars have equalized against the Carthage Eagles. It's 1-1 in Rabat. And then the goal came just in the early stage of the second half, 40th minute actually, from Faisal Salom, the Azam player. And you can see the live table there. Nothing has changed. Nigeria on 9 points, Tunisia on 4, Tanzania on 2, Uganda are leading from the bottom with just a solitary point.
What a pass.
Now Samuel Chukwueze is up against Kayondo, sends the ball to Fisal Bashiru, but the ball hits
a Ugandan defender.
Obita on its way to a corner kick. Without some good
it's a great move by Nigeria. I love the one-touch pass, one-time pass. I think personally I like one-time passes into the defense, opposing defense. It doesn't give the opposition time to settle and try and ward off the attack. So it's only brilliance from a good player that can actually execute it as properly as possible. And unsurprisingly, there's jostling going on in the box as well. Players looking for position in the corner kick, and this is where we miss the talents of Ademola Lukman, who obviously is Nigeria's best dead ball specialist. But hopefully Nigeria can get some more change out of this corner kick.
Corner kick taken. And there should be a goal, but no, it isn't. Unfortunately, Chigozie Oparanozie just missed a sitter.
Completely misjudged the bounce of the ball. The goal was begging.
It's a glaring miss for the Nantes defender, who knows he should be doing better there.
He scored for Nigeria in his last appearance in that friendly match against Egypt.
Another chance from Super Eagles here, but Victor Osimhen
can't control.
Just cannot control that in time. But the Super Eagles wrestling dominance in this early stages, trying to dictate the play. Moses Simon finds Paul Amrachi, who has to drop deep. Lovely reverse pass towards Samuel Chukwueze.
What a pass.
Chukwueze lays it on a place for Fisal Bashiru. Bashiru in the cross there. Osimhen, chance for good ownership. Oh, that's at the side net.
Now,
that's another chance begging Desire.
Well, another begging chance that should have gone in, but then I want to point out the fact that Dele Bashiru, all those forward runs he's been doing, this is him again. He's done it a couple of times now, and that was what led to our first goal. So kudos to him. That was a great chance, and I mean that should have gone in.
But look at the quality of the cross. It was a floated cross because he knows he has two tall people in the box. Now it was just unfortunate that the timing was wrong, but that's the kind of crosses that people like Paul Amrachi and also Victor Osimhen need in order to be able to get some kind of change from this Ugandan defense.
Uganda know Nigeria won, and Nigeria is showing that they're not ready to rest on their oars, trying to get a second. The next goal of this game could be very, very crucial. Another one for the Super Eagles. It's maybe almost game set match, and if it's for the Ugandans, it's definitely game on. Kayondo sends a low one, but Francis Uzor springs off his line and sends a quick one towards Bono Emechi, but that's finally read by Senikula. A lively start from the Super Eagles today.
Yeah, like I said, they've been very, very mature in their performance. They haven't done too much. They've done exactly what they needed to do. The goal that they scored was timely because it pretty much put the Ugandans in their place. It cooled their ardor. They now know that they are playing against a top 5 African side, so they have more respect for us now, and that's how it should be. Whether you like it or not, like we say across Africa and even in Nigeria, should get size, and Nigeria should not be grunting and groaning trying to dispatch a Ugandan team. If it was Egypt, I would understand. If it was Cameroon, I understand. If it was Cote d'Ivoire, I understand. If it was Morocco, I understand. If it was Mali, I understand. If it was Senegal, I understand. But not a Uganda national team. No matter what the records say, should get size.
Free kick to Nigeria from the right hand side of our screen right here. Don't forget, still to come, action later tonight. The Cheetahs of Benin up against the Teranga Lions of Senegal. And the Zebras of Botswana take on the Leopards of DR Congo.
Leopards are taking on Zebras.
We know how that's going to end, right?
Oh, yeah.
Free kick floated in. That's well dealt with by Uganda, halfway through to the Super Eagles. Fisao Dele Bashir popping up in those very dangerous spaces. Desire Eric Chell right now. I mean, how impressed are you with your team?
Well, I think he's not under any kind of pressure. I really would want to commend him for this lineup. You know, I doubt if Ganacho would have made the same number of changes. You know, haven't qualified, but he probably would have still been under pressure, and you know, having to make 7 changes in your starting lineup is massive. You know, but I really commend him, and he's done really well so far. And looking at him on the sideline, he's calm and not under any kind of pressure. So I think he's done well.
Talk about Ghana Troy will be on the bench later tonight for the Cheetahs of Benin. Lovely pass towards Moses Simon. Polonarchi's just in the pocket.
No, too much.
But the final ball is lacking from the Paris FC winger. But still finds Simon Chukwueze. Chukwueze sends another cross in. But that's taken away by Baba. But finally ends in the hands of Magola.
That's a poor final ball. And it still goes back to what I said in the first half. When you're in such positions, don't force the ball. Just go along with what I said about spatial displacement. Move the ball from side to side. Probe, look for holes, look for gaps in the defense, look for runners. That is the only way you can breach the defense, because this defense already at a heightened state of alert or awareness. You are expecting that ball to come in. All you really need to do is just keep calm, keep possession, and look for those holes and gaps, and it will come.
Alright, pass towards Victor Osimhen. He's up against Tommy. That's the first one.
That's
that should definitely be a sending off.
That's a red card.
That should be a send off for Magola Salim.
Yes, that's a red card. That is a red card.
And that's a short-lived stay for Magola Salim.
That is a red card.
And it's left the Beninese center referee with a very easy decision, probably the easiest to make in his referee career.
So maybe this is why they didn't want to sub him in the first place.
Exactly.
I mean, who does that?
Trust me, the director's spawning towards Dennis Onyango.
And the elder statesman.
And Onyango is probably saying, I told you guys. I told you guys. But that was instinctive, wasn't it, today? But lovely ball towards Osimhen.
Absolutely, and that's one of the key things about Victor Osimhen. Those long telescopic legs. It almost seems as if he just last minute just flicks the ball beyond the fence, and now he put the goalkeeper in an untenable position. He was way off his goal. He couldn't head it. He had to stop it with his hand. Otherwise, that was a short goal. That would have been 2-0 down. He had a choice to make. Did he take one for the team, or did he allow the ball to go in? Retrospectively, it seems like a bad decision, because they're a man down, they're a goal down against a top 5 African team, and this could be more. Now, the coach is forced to take off another player, an awful player, and bring in a goalkeeper, the third goalkeeper. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you have 3 goalkeepers in your team at any competition, because the first one can be injured, the second one will feed the craze, the third one will now have to save you.
So that means that we are going to see Uganda's third goalkeeper in just one game.
Amazing, Wale. I've seen competitions happen where the third goalkeeper never even touched the pitch. Now, Paul Pot has used 3 goalkeepers in one match, not in one tournament, in one match. If he woke up today, he would never have believed this was possible.
So Paul Pot is about to put in Nafian Alionzi, who is going to come in to replace Magola Salim, who was sent off for handling the ball outside of the penalty area. But today, once again, that was instinctive. That's like survivor's instinct, wasn't it?
Nah, he's a goalkeeper. His first instinct is to try and stop the ball with his hand. I think even it was reflex. I don't even think he was thinking at that particular point in time. Hand just happened to move towards the ball, and now Uganda are a man down
a goal down, and they are basically in trouble.
So Alassane is off. Alionze is in as the Super Eagles get ready to take a free kick as a result of that handball outside of the area by the now sent off Magola Salim. Crazy Saints right there in Fez, and at the Watchalong right here at the Civic Center, I'm sure that everyone is so excited at the chance of the Super Eagles getting more goals. And Desire, it's time for us to desire a lot of goals in this game. It's 60 minutes just gone.
Yeah, we need to capitalize on this opportunity, score more goals. Uganda is a one-man down now, and with their least performing goalkeeper, so I mean this should count for something. We need to get more balls into the 18-yard box and make sure we make it count.
Free kick to Nigeria as the Beninese referee tries to ensure that everything is in order.
I think this is within range. I honestly think this is within range.
It's Sam Chukwueze standing on that one.
It's shaping up to be probably a very good strike.
Oh, that's a poor one from the Fulham winger. And why does he have wet lips? Why does he have wet lips?
Using lip gloss. How many players use lip gloss when they're playing? Desire, I never use lip gloss when they're playing.
Desire says it's the weather.
It's the weather. But that was an atrocious.
No, that's how you play football when you're under the weather.
And that's how you play a rugby penalty. That was an atrocious ball, really.
Uganda now play with 10. Can the Super Eagles pile on more pressure? Polonachu.
So it's an interesting thing when you place a 10-man team, because they know that they're man down. They tend to be a bit more compact, a bit more disciplined, a bit more aware, because they know that they're up against it. And there's also a possibility that there might be some complacency on the side with the numerical advantage.
Desire, how do you unlock a team play with 10 men?
How do you unlock a team play with 10 men?
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy. Be patient with the ball, just like they're doing right now. Be patient and try to drag them out, because since they are sitting back, play more on your, half of the field, and you'll have your moments. Just try and be patient. Don't force things, and once they come in, you'll have those runs behind the defense line, and maybe one or two occasions you will get it right.
Uganda trying to just keep it at 1-0, and who knows, maybe the odd goal. Super Eagles in the attack. Sam Chukwueze fights off already. It's a goal! It's a goal! Rafael Eagles made it 2 for Nigeria. It's Uganda 0, Nigeria 2. It's Uganda 0, Nigeria 2. Club Brugge midfielder Rafael Adigun.
Wale, a lot must be said about the quality of that goal. Now look at the pass from Chukwueze. The ball was behind. Was behind him, but he had the presence of mind to bring it forward, and his momentum that he was running with allowed him to burst into the box beyond the final defender. Even at that, look at the quality of the strike. He didn't go with his instep. He didn't go with his laces. It was a very strong side foot under the legs of the goalkeeper. A player who still had presence of mind in the final third in the box to be able to dispatch that ball as he should. So, excellent goal in terms of technical quality. 10 over 10.
Alionze got a fantastic welcome, and that was a goal to make it 2 for Nigeria. Super Eagles on the roll now. It's Victor Osimhen now, but the other one's that one. It's Well, that looks like it was offside,
It was offside.
The assistant referee just let that one go.
It was offside.
Momentarily. But it looked like Victor Osimhen made a mess of that one. He was onside, actually.
He was onside.
He was onside. I think the final touch let him down.
Exactly. But if that ball had scored, I think there would have been a VR review.
There would have been checked.
Yeah. But I also need to ask Desire as well. I mean, what is the best place to strike a ball with on your foot? There are those who like to go with the laces, with the side foot. Which one gives more power and accuracy?
Well, it depends on the positioning of the player. You know, if you're inside the 18-yard box, within the 6-yard area, I think your best bet is placing.
Side foot.
But if it's around the edge of the 18, outside the 18, it's
because of the distance.
Yes, it's your instep.
Oh, that's a poor pass, slip pass by Nigeria, but to still maintain control, he's lost it. And Uche Ikpeazu, like I said, very muscular physical presence for Uganda. I think he's been called back for a foul on Samuel Chukwueze, who is beginning to show some form of...
Yeah, it's been lively.
Yeah, it's been lively in this second half, as against the first half, where I said he was busy but unproductive. But this time around, he's apart from that atrocious free kick, they are still looking for the ball ahead. Apart from that atrocious free kick, I thought he's been good this half.
It's a yellow card to Uche Ikpeazu of Uganda. Still trying to explain Taya. But no evidence. Nigeria have scored in each of their last 9 AFCON matches. The last failed to score in their round of 16 defeats to Tunisia back in 2021. Again, the man in goal for Nigeria, or we used to be in goal for Nigeria, Maduka Okoye, doesn't want to remember. Unfortunately, he's not part of this team in Morocco.
Unfortunately, he's also not playing for his club, Udinese.
Yeah, got sent off.
He got a red card against Fiorentina. They got passed at 5-1. He got sent off.
Again, businessman. Concentrated, listen to the plate for the vertical to goal. It's a second for Rafael Adigun. It's Uganda 0, Nigeria 3. No prizes for guessing again. It's Rafael Adigun after great work from Sam Chukwueze on the right. So unselfish of the fallen midfielder. Sends a pass to Rafael Adigun, who picks his spot. That was well worked today.
So many things to talk about. I just want Desire Oparanozie to just talk us through that goal. I thought it was a brilliant finish. And it goes back to what you said earlier on, just a few minutes ago, about using the side foot for proper placement instead of going for power.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great finish. Like I said, imagine if he had chosen the instead. You know, that ball probably would have, gone off target. But it was a great finish by Onyedika, and what a pass from Onuachu, by the way, to Chukwueze.
No. I have to talk about Onuachu.
Exactly. So
he's been brilliant in that target for the target man position, holding up play, distributing the ball, and that pass again, that round the corner pass, once again to the flanks. That's the second or third one in this game.
Very deceptive pass, and getting to Chukwueze, what Chukwueze did with that ball was amazing. Some other player would have gone for goal, but he decided to play it out for Onyedika to have that finish. So it was a great goal.
Really.
Super Eagles coasting really nicely. 68 minutes gone. 10 men, Uganda 0. Super Eagles of Nigeria 3.
Wale, I can guarantee that there will be no parties in Kampala tonight.
No, not at all. From Lagos to Kampala.
That's a run-town song.
Oh yeah. It's just that from Lagos, there's plenty of goals here. Familiar axis again. It's Fisal Delebashiru linking up with Chukwueze. Bashiru sends a low cross in there as Victor Osimhen prepares to pull the trigger. Sam Chukwueze again. Finds Ryan Lebiosu. Obita heads it out, and Uganda momentarily clear danger. Super Eagles looking dangerous anytime they go through Sam Chukwueze these days.
Now Chukwueze has been really good this half. Really, really good. Very lively. He's been at the heart of every good thing that Nigeria has done so far. That inverted winger position that he's playing is targeted at breaking lines, not necessarily getting in crosses, and he's done that brilliantly well. But I also must confess that this is the Super Eagles team that I like to see, that are still going about their business as they should. Their concentration is high. Normally you tend to see Nigeria lose focus after leading 1-0, but these ones are very hungry and they want to get more goals. That's 2 goals in the kitty already in this second half, and who says they can't get more?
Of course, they can definitely get more with 1 man down for the Ugandan side. 70th minute, 3 goals up. I think we can still get more. And it took Chukwueze to start playing for us to actually see the goals.
Yeah.
And all of the goals we've scored in the second have been quite very exciting. So kudos to the whole team. They've remained positive, they remained committed, and kudos to what they've done so far.
Short corner kick for Nigeria. Set in Ropolomachu. Just cannot direct it on goal as he searches for his brace in this one.
That's a great ball. Excellent corner kick routine. Short corner. See the player running to receive the ball. Lay off again. That's a really good one. Running into space. He came off his shoulder, I think. It didn't come off his head, so it was poor timing on part of Onachu. There was still a great attempt by Nigeria.
Still 1-1 in Rabat between Tanzania and Tunisia. The game is in the 74th minute.
Desire, I need to ask you a question. What kind of message does this send to the rest of the competition when in your group you beat all opposition comfortably, you qualify top of your group, you have 9 points, you score plenty of goals? Do you do it because you want to send the fear of God into your other opposition, or do you do it just to make yourself feel good, hype yourself up because you want to win the tournament?
It does both. It does both. It makes you feel good, and also it sends a message to your opponents to say, no, we're not to be messed with. You know, you better be ready. Be aware of what you're about to encounter. So, I mean, it's both. It makes the players' confidence going into the knockout stage and all of that.
All right, there you go. The possession starting with Nigeria balls and things. The last time Nigeria won all 3 of its group games.
Wale, you had to go there.
Does anybody remember?
You had to go there. You had to go there.
I've been told not to go there.
Okay, but let's just remind people. Can we remind people? Should we remind you?
But this is not the same team.
This is not the same team.
It's not the same code.
And it's not the same country.
I believe in Charlie.
So we'll leave it there. The rest of is history. Super Eagles session for more. Chance for Yemichi to bomb forward, but that's
yeah. Now this is where Nigeria is beginning to turn the screws. With the numerical advantage, they have greater possession, they have more space to work with as well. You can see that they're turning the screws on the opposition, basically playing in the Ugandans' half, and that's what you expect. But this positive football is really good. Unfortunately, couldn't beat his man.
Lovely hold up ball work from Uchekwiazu, but just can't find Mato there. Lovely anticipation from Chidozie Awazim. Oigobu. That's been quiet today, by the way.
He's had a good game.
Yeah, quietly.
He's been very quiet but very efficient.
Yeah.
Does what needs to be done. Sometimes you don't need your central defender to be a ball carrying, ball playing. Sometimes you just need a central defender who is what I call a customs agent, clearing and forwarding.
It's very obvious that the fans here want more goals. But if you're streaming and watching this live on our YouTube channel, remember to subscribe to our channel. There's still more from where this came from, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. Bruno Emechi there, finds for Saudade Bashir. Desire, I think at this stage of the game it's ripe enough to start looking at potential man of the match, right?
Yes.
What's it been for you?
Well, I think Dele have really impressed me in that middle, all those forward runs, and I mean, he's done very well, ball distribution, you know, getting that assist and how he's tried to, you know, push the attack and support the attack. I think he's been my best player so far.
Sunday, do you want to ignore the guy with 2 assists?
I have to call.
Might be 3 for the Super Eagles, but that's Moses Simon fluffing his lines there.
Misjudged the bounce of the ball.
Will have been a hat-trick of assists for Sam Chukwueze.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many candidates for this man of the match. There's Moses Simon, who's done brilliantly well on the flanks. Samuel Chukwueze, who's also done really well with 2 assists. But I think you can't look beyond Rafael Onyedika. Apart from the fact that he's gotten 2 goals, he's done brilliantly well in front of that defense. As the defense,
we talked about how he did a big game today.
Yeah, and he's risen up to the occasion as well. That's
it's a goal.
Finish.
Uganda get a consolation, and it might just not be over yet. It might not be over. 75th minute consolation. It's Roger Marto.
Now, if you do recall at the start of the game, I did name check Rogers Mato. He's a good finisher, and this is a good finish. You rarely find a better finish than this. Didn't panic. The run itself was brilliant. Ran into the box, blind side of the entire defense, came up against the goalkeeper. Now, just one flick into the far corner. Excellent finish. But the Nigerian defense, once again, has switched off. Unfortunately, we saw them do that against Tanzania. We saw them do that against Tunisia. We've now seen them do that against Uganda. And this is a worrying pattern for me. But in response to that, we are seeing Eric Shaw making some substitutions. Paul Onuachu has had a brilliant game. Another player who I think could have been in the running for man of the match with his performance as target man, got the opening goal. Also, his hold-up play was brilliant. This is Tochukwu Naji, defensive midfielder from Zote Waregem. He's on the pitch. Zaidu Sanusi is also coming in onto the pitch as well. We don't know who's replacing, but Paul Onuachu is off. This is Eric Shell's response to the goal conceded by the Super Eagles. But I need to ask Desire, do the players begin to feel a sense of unease?
Or a sense of deja vu, Tunisia.
But against a 10, do they feel let down that how can we let a 10-man team score against us?
Well, yeah, I feel very let down. Like the defense, they switched off a bit in that regard. I think our Zim should have followed up that player early enough, and also Uzoho made an early call to come. I think if he had delayed his run coming out, perhaps that player would have had it very difficult to score. But then again, it's that moment of complacency in the Nigerian defense, and it's very disappointing that a 10-man team, you know, had to get a goal in this game.
I think that must have been the disappointing thing, that Uganda did not score when they had 11 men on the pitch. They only scored when they were reduced to 10 men.
Yeah, you know, I did mention
that would be a negative.
I did mention that earlier on about how 10-man teams can be difficult to play against because they are more compact, they are more aware, they are more switched on. They understand the fact that there's a numerical disadvantage, and therefore they also need to be, their concentration levels need to be high. But it's interesting because when they went 10-man down, they considered 2 goals. But they've also scored 1 goal, which means that they've been, you can actually argue that that's been an improvement. But I don't think the Super Eagles should be despondent. This game is really much in the bag. Question of seeing it out and getting more goals in order to show that that one that they considered was an aberration.
Will there be the goal sum of Tunisia hovering around? Remember the last game in Group C, Nigeria-Tunisia? Nigeria led 3-0. We thought Tunisia made or tried to make a little rally. Could that be playing the minds of these players as they will try to see this one out? Tochukwu Naji, one of the new entrants, made his debut against the Pharaohs of Egypt in that pre-AFCON friendly in Cairo. They will have to find a way to navigate this one. And the leaders in this team like Victor Osimhen will be very much crucial. Desire.
Yeah, of course. He's still on the field. I think maybe one of the reasons he's still on the field is to see if he can get more goals to his name and continue to motivate the team up until the end. But so far, Nigeria, they are managing the game very well, keeping possession, and just like we spoke earlier about ball possession and mobility.
Uganda trying to attack once again. Uche Kwiazu has been outmaneuvered. It's a foul to the Zewazin. Just a foul. The Ugandan striker who has done a fantastic job of leading the line. He's done a fantastic job. He's led the line really well. The St. Johnston forward looks like someone who has his dose of daily akpu. Yeah.
Looks like someone who lives in Olodia Papa actually.
Yeah, it looks like someone who doesn't joke with his akpu. Strong, he's big, he's got presence. Ball to Osimhen. Nadi, wrong pass. But that will still out for a throw in. 80-minute mark. 10 more to go of normal time. Uganda 1, Nigeria 3. This watch along is brought to you by 54 Football X. And let's do it again right here at the Civic Center. Sam Chukwueze at the second time. Lovely nutmeg. It's been sifted down, but the Beninese referee says play on. Matter now on the move. But just can't get it going. I thought that was a foul.
I thought so too. But this Benin referee thought otherwise. It's an interesting game. We've not had any reason to go to VAR, so I think it's been well contested, very competitive game between both teams. Uganda obviously wanted to win this, but the gods of football had other ideas. Nigeria in the ascendancy right now with Samuel Chukwueze, who's been really lively in the second half, and Nigeria looking to probe more holes in this Ugandan defense. Shot from range but was blocked up by the Ugandan defense as well. Nigeria still in the ascendancy. It's what, like I said, just moving the ball around, spatial awareness, keeping possession, looking for holes, looking for runners. Nah, this defender doesn't want to be messing with Victor Osimhen. He's the last person you want. He's a proper hothead. Nah, somebody should hold. Please give Osimhen your ice water.
It's Kayondo who wants it. Kayondo the foul on Tochukwu Nadi. It's been a regular culprit all game, the Ugandan right back.
I think Osimhen have done really well in managing his emotions in this game.
Yeah.
Kudos to him.
Free kick to Nigeria. Still a familiar face standing over it. Sam Chukwueze.
There's Moses Simon there as well. So is it an outswinger or an in-swinger?
The man with the lip gloss. Can he add gloss to the scoreline?
I think it's Moses Simon going to take this one.
It would be nice to see the Super Eagles add more gloss to the scoreline here in Fez.
I see what you did there.
Free kick swat game, but Alionzi will save that one. It looks like a guy dazed, especially when the second and third goals came on. Ugandan goalkeeper.
You are the third choice goalkeeper. Nobody expects you to play even one game. Now you have to
throw into the deep end.
Into the deep end, and you're eating 2 goals for lunch. Wouldn't you be dazed?
83 minutes gone. It's also 1-1 in Rabat between Tanzania and Tunisia.
That's the big surprise for me, honestly. I didn't think Tanzania had it in them to hold Tunisia.
I mean, they gave us a scare as well.
Yeah. That's the big surprise for me.
Coming up later, Benin against Senegal, Botswana versus DR Congo. As Uganda prepared to launch a long throw from the right hand side. It's a shot one, Babosi. Cross comes in. Awazim gets a touch. Rafael Dika. Sprays it over to Samuel Chukwueze. It's time for the Super Eagles to, start applying the handbrakes. Just see out the game.
Let's see out the game. There's really nothing to prove anymore. But I would have loved them to cancel that one goal. I always believe in an eye for an eye. A goal for a goal.
Yeah.
If you score me, at least I need to score one back, preferably two. So I would really love for them to cancel that one goal. That's the only blemish on what has been an outstanding display by Eric Shaw's second team.
Desire, what do you think as part of the first teamers will feel threatened by the performance of any of the players today?
I don't think so. I've always been a believer of, everybody is equal, every player is as good as, the starting 11. So, they just brought in these guys and they did the job. So everybody is as important and as equal. Anybody could have done the job. If he decides to, bring out this same lineup in the round of 16, they probably would have given us the same result the other guys would give. So that's one good thing about this, Charlie's team that is very impressive.
Uche Piazza's race is a run. It's been substituted for Semugai. Semugabi, the number 22 Ugandan forward. Plays his football at Kitara, right there in Uganda as well, Jude Semugabi.
Like I said, it's been a really professional performance by Nigeria. They didn't have to do too much, didn't have to break out the sweat, but they were also helped by the fact that Uganda had an injury to goalkeeper and captain Dennis Onyango. Also the fact that they're also on the receiving end of a red card as well. So you can only, take advantage of what you've been given. And Nigeria has been given some really good breaks. If they hadn't taken advantage of it, that's where the issue would have been. They scored three good goals, haven't really broken a sweat. Some players, French players, have also gotten a run out, had their own tournament appearance as well. And Victor Osimhen is also about to come off. He's had a good game as well. I'm going to put him on ice until that game against the Mambas of Mozambique.
We'll be disappointed that despite the Super Eagles scoring a hat-trick of goals, they couldn't just get amongst it, because definitely we'll be eyeing that top scorer award as well. But Ako Adams about to come on.
Yeah, that's a question for you, Desire. Top scorer for the Nigerian national team, key player, talisman, star boy. Your team scores 3, you don't get anyone. Is there a sense of frustration?
Not really. I don't think there is. For me personally, I wouldn't feel any type of way, provided I, contributed in the team's success, regardless of who scores. I don't really care much about it. But talking about Osimhen, I didn't really, to be totally honest, I didn't think he would play this match today, considering his health history, injury worries and all of that. I thought maybe he would, take this game to rest and come back fresh in the round of 16 game. I didn't really, see him playing in this game, but be that as it may, he played, he looks healthy, he looks fit, and it's good for the team.
Yeah, we also have a good authority that it was actually Cyril Dessers who was supposed to start this match alongside Osimhen, but Dessers picked up a late injury in training last night. That was why Osimhen started. I think it was Osimhen and it was actually Onwachu and Dessers that were supposed to start. Okay. So when the injury came in, Osimhen volunteered that I was going to start and give my own to the team as well. So applause to him as well for fair play to him for wanting to put himself there when he could have just asked and said, "Coach, I don't tire. I want this for Mozambique."
Makes absolute sense.
As it stands right now, Nigeria will be taking on the Mambas of Mozambique in the round of 16. Second round of 16. It's the Eagle against the Mamba. And that should be interesting to see. And Tunisia, who are currently second, will face the Eagles of Mali, who qualified with 3 draws from the group. The latest coming in that 0-0 affair against the Falcons of Comoros yesterday. According to Uganda, I mean, you can't give what you don't have. I mean, they don't have that quality to be able to compete with the Super Eagles, who are still made up of an array of stars playing the biggest clubs in Europe. Yellow card, I think, to Chidozie Awazie.
He looks confounded, actually. He looks absolutely confounded. Now, how is this different from, the tackle that the Ugandan fullback gave on Ryan Alebo?
I think the Benin's referee is
he's been very inconsistent.
I think he's maybe pissed that his own team are about to crash out of the competition.
He's been inconsistent with his refereeing.
I think it's just frustrated because I think the 2 yellow cards is dished out to Nigeria have not been really convincing.
And there's been a global concern about referees' inconsistencies in this AFCON so far.
Oh, absolutely.
This just proves to be one of them.
4 minutes added on. Uganda with a free kick. Could still get more to scare the Super Eagles. They get a goal later in this one, and it could be a dramatic, nerve-wracking finale for Nigerian football fans right here and even right there in Fez, Morocco.
Nigeria doesn't need to concede now.
Mato takes it. He's going for glory, but
it's a poor free kick. Very poor.
It's a very poor attempt from the Varda.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that Nigeria home and dry.
Oh yeah, definitely.
3-1. 91st minute. There's not really much to say about this than to start congratulating Nigerians. A lot of people didn't really think this team was good enough to get 3 wins from 3 games. A team that really flattered to convince the African World Cup playoffs. But you must give Eric Shell lots of plaudits. He still hasn't lost a match in 90 minutes in charge of the Nigerian national team. And I think it's safe to say that he's beginning to grow into his role. Maybe he surprised quite a lot of people, including myself. I didn't think he was good enough for the job. But Wale and Desire, you also know as well that it's a results game. How you get the results, nobody cares. As long as you get the results. But Nigerian fans cared. No matter how well Genodro did, he got plenty of wins. Nobody really liked him. They said that the style of football was bad. Now I'm not sure about whether they like the style of football. They're not just happy with the win.
It looks like one of my favorite Nigerian players then to pronounce in recent times is about to come on. You can guess the name.
I'm struggling.
Salim Fargo.
Fargo? Fargo like in the series Fargo?
Yeah.
No, this one is F-A-G-O.
So Salim Fargo looks like might get some brief cameo here.
Now this was the player that drew plenty of criticism when he was named. Never played for Nigeria before.
But imagine the scenes if the ball doesn't go out of play and Fargo doesn't get a come on. Because this is the 93rd minute and there's a chance that Fargo might just be stuck on the sideline.
Please, somebody should kick the ball out. Somebody should head the ball out.
Oh, it's finally out.
Thank you, God.
It's finally out. All thanks to Igor. And Salim Fargo.
What goes through a player's mind at this time of the game? I mean, the game is ended. They are bringing you on. So come and do what?
It's a
technical. If it was me, I'll be angry. It's not finished now. You might not get a touch.
It's a tactical decision. I mean,
what kind of tactical decision does it involve bringing in a player in the 93rd minute? He might not touch the ball.
Oh, that's football for you.
Salim Fargo based in Croatia. We're playing on that right hand side at least for the last seconds of this game. As Uganda send one towards secondary, but tackled, land Nigeria in trouble. But That was actually off course, but it'll be out for a corner kick.
What in the name of Kung Fu is that? Oh my goodness.
That was lack of communication.
I thought that was going in for a bit.
I thought so too.
Whoa.
So corner kick, Okello will take that one. Almost said Otello.
And this is where a lot of people begin to worry about this Nigerian national team. Where Nigeria begins to worry about them.
This should be it.
Concentration is very
and ball should be out of play, and should be game, set, match anytime from now. And there you go, Benin's referee as whistle for full time. It's ended. Uganda 1, Nigeria 3, and Nigerians can celebrate 3 consecutive wins in Group C as we wrap up the group stage campaign in fine style. And quickly, let me tell you guys to stick around after the game. Don't rush home. There's still food and drinks and other games will be coming on tonight. So just stick around. There's plenty of excitement here as we celebrate going into New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
So definitely, guys, stick around. There's plenty of food and drinks coming right up. It's ended. Uganda 1, Nigeria 3.
Stadiums. Of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosted to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this continental fiesta. Do not be left out.
It's time for Africa. It's time for business. It's time for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Get ready to yalla!
Morocco! 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champion?
Wins from 3 games for the Super Eagles of Nigeria as they wrap up Group C with 9 points. Yes, we may have conceded in this encounter against Uganda, but there is something to smile about. We have been able to see the newly invited players have chance to play on the pitch of play, know what they can do on the pitch of play. Eric Shell is cooking. Oh yes, he's using every single seasoning you could ever think of. At this time we say Super Eagles are in good hands in the hands of Eric Shell. But we've got a lot of fans and their reservations about this encounter. Must the Super Eagles concede? I'm not going to answer that question. We have fans to test your polls and know what they think about the Super Eagles performance. Hello! I'm very certain that you had a good time having to watch the Super Eagles tonight.
Yes, indeed. I really did enjoy myself. You know, it's a good thing to see the team winning back-to-back games. It was 3 wins in the group stage, 9 points. We scored the highest number of goals at the AFCON this tournament. So we're enjoying the game. We're enjoying the Super Eagles performance. Although, why are we conceding? Why should we be conceding every game? But then we can continue to enjoy this game. All we need is to win. We want to win the tournament. So we take it a step at a time, one win at a time, and then we ensure we win the tournament anyway.
All right, second half, everything busts. Uganda had to field 3 goalkeepers in 1 match. 1 red card coming from you for Uganda there, and mistake. What kind of childish mistake is that from the Ugandan goalkeeper? But working in our favor is all good. Looking at the fact that they had to bring in 3 goalkeepers, and we missed that penalty. When did Chikwueze start taking penalty for us?
You know, sometimes when these things play like this, you would wonder why it would happen that way, right? But then the Super Eagles played well. Again, the red card was funny. It is to our advantage. It was funny, but it is to our advantage. So the red card happened. Defeated 3 goalkeepers. Not our fault. Scored 2 goals. In fact, thank God for that 3rd goalkeeper. I figured if it was the first choice goalkeeper, we wouldn't have scored anyway. So it was a good thing for us. We would take the win, we would enjoy it, and then we go on to the next game.
All right, we're going to wrap up this interview without singing the song. What song do you have for the Super Eagles heading into the round of 16? Come on. No, there is a song when you play Uganda, you know Kampala. It is what?
From Lagos to Kampala. We're going. I'm sorry to Ugandans, but so sorry. From Lagos to Kampala. Yeah. I don't know the song.
Yeah, I know you don't know the song. Don't worry, but it's all good. This is excitement coming from all the fans in here. And let's test the polls of another fan and know what he feels about this game. You know they say everybody is a coach without being on the touchline. So let's get someone else. All right. Oh yes, you're representing at this time. It's great to see you on the green white. Beautiful one there. But it's Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah.
With your shade. But guy, come on, look at us. We had fielded players that we wanted to see them on the pitch of play. Fago had a chance. Igor Obu had a chance. And also Onuachu coming back and Uzoho. Looking at all the players that Eric Shell fielded, which of them would you say you were more impressed about?
Yeah, Onuachu for me is the Turkish League highest goal scorer. He did a fantastic job today. Nice positioning, good play, and that's so wonderful of him. I'm proud of him.
Yes, you'll be proud of him because he has given us that goal over there. But if Onuachu do not get a goal, you're not proud of him, isn't it?
He played fantastic, good positioning. I'm still proud of him. And he's representing Nigeria well. That's very nice of him.
Right, you remember the last time that we had a clean sweep in the group stage? We thought everything will work in our favor going to the round of 16, but just 1 goal. 1 free kick did that damage for us in 2021. Looking ahead, what do you think will be our fate?
Looking ahead, we have a very fantastic team right now. A good team, a good coach, and my guys, the Nigerian guys, they are focused. I think this time around, going to the round of 16, we're going to have a very wonderful game from there.
Have we moved past Osimhen? We've not seen him score so much. Have we moved past Osimhen? Can we now, manage without him on the pitch of play?
You can see the game today. Osimhen didn't score, and we had other players that were like the likes of Onachu, our goal scorer today, Onyedika, a very clinical goal from him. I think the boys are trying, and I don't know, Lukman is on a good, very, very good form. I think without Osimhen, we can't produce something. With the form they have, they will do a fantastic job.
They will do a fantastic job. That is what the fan is saying over here. The campaign is let's do it again. Super Eagles until the round of 16. Fire went down today against Uganda. We thought that Nigeria would be up against Ikpeazu Uchechukwu, but at the end of the day, we had to tame him. We had to tame him. Onto the round of 16, the 2025 African Cup of Nations with the hashtag and the campaign for the Super Eagles, let's do it again. And we're hoping that in the round of 16, we'll get a favorable team, be it Angola as they have predicted. We're hoping that the Super Eagles will continue to soar hard over there in Morocco. Fairs will remain after clinching the round of 16 ticket. Thank you from here, Onyechi Obaro. See you in the round of 16.
Morocco, 52 matches, 24 nations, 9 stadiums, 6 cities, 1 continent, 1 title, 1 goal. The undisputed champion of Africa. Wake up, Africa!
2025 African Cup of Nations is here, and it's time to yalla. What is your favorite animal? The Super Eagles, the Carthage Eagles, the Teranga Lions, the Chipolopolos, the Foxes, or the Squirrels?
Or are you for the Bafana, the Pharaohs, the Indomitable Lions, the Stallions, the Zebras, the Leopards, or the defending champions, the Elephants in the room?
Well, whatever you are, it's time to rep your nation, make the loudest noise, and dirty your December with the best of football that the African continent has got to offer. No go carry last though.
Who will be crowned champions? The Ivory Coast defending their title, runners-up in the Super Eagles, or Morocco hosting to win it? There's only one place to be, one continent to focus on, and one sport to stick with.
Are you ready for this? Rabat, Casablanca, Marrakech, Fes, Tangier, and Agadir. 6 cities all ready for this